with some more modern, live with more Mardudes. So this is the General Ferris Rockerick build that we've been working on, playing things like Metamorphose and such to generate some free golems. We've even incorporated some border posts into our mana base just to increase the percentage of the deck that is multicolored. We're playing finishers besides generals such as Kroxa, and actually we've been really happy. I was testing a singleton of the Sorin Solemn Visitor. We like this card in tandem with General Ferris so much that we've just gone to a 2 of. And I'm really happy with that change. The deck looks really good. Our last league didn't go all that great, but let's see if this league does. So just want to make sure all our sound stuff is happy and doing the things. Cool. It's way too loud. Sorry for that, folks. Much better. All right, let's jam another league with this this Mardu's deck. The big thing that this deck's trying to do again is just get General Ferris Rockerick on the table. This card is pretty resilient to a lot of the cheap removal that folks want to and are running. Even the new white removal spell that people are excited about does not hit General Ferris. So everything from Path to that Converge card I just referred to Push, Bolt, Lava Dart even. Yes, he does get tagged by Remnant 6. Yes, he does get hit by Lightning Helix, Abrupt Decay. But there's quite a few removal spells that won't hit him. We are running a singleton Cavern of Souls. I think that's right. So let's see if that's what we want to be doing. Hopefully you guys are having a nice Wednesday, wherever it is where you are at in the world. Thanks for tuning in. This is version 1.5. We've already gone through several iterations of the deck. I think last league we had the really greedy version where it had, too many border posts and lots of other little problems. I think we'll be happier with this this build here. I do wonder if the deck actually would benefit from the second basic planes. I do wonder. Just looking at the list, I have a lot of white cards actually, especially when you add in the sideboard white cards. So I do wonder if actually we should be on 2 basic planes. It might be correct to be on 2 basic planes. But we'll run it like this. I think the Metamorphose let us kind of get away with. I was running 2 swamps because our early game is all black. Also, we need double black for Kroxa. So that's part of the reason why I wanted a second swamp. But there is a lot of white, right? I mean, there's 5 white 2-drops. There are 7 3-drops that have white in them. And then, of course, now we're playing Sorin, so that increases our white count. We've added several white cards to our sideboard as well. We're also playing with, we made some modifications to our card selection, and now we're playing with the Companion, and I've liked that quite a bit. So we'll say good luck and have fun to our opponent. Wow. So in the rolls here, we both rolled a 1, then we both rolled 3s, but then I rolled a 2 and they rolled a 6. So they're going to be on the play. We'll be on the draw. Let's grab our Companion here. I am going to leave Jegantha on the screen because I don't want to forget that I have a Companion. This opener looks really good for us, even though we're on the draw. 2 hand disruption. Keep. Only 1 multicolored, but no general in sight, so that's fine. So these border posts, we'll want to hold them. We don't really want to play them out unless we absolutely need the land drop. Oh, wow, it's the mirror match, kind of. We're not the only folks brewing around this card. As you can see, this card's pretty ridiculous. But I'm sure people will adapt to it. This looks to be some variation of the Cascade value deck. We may see them pop off this Metamorphose and try to get something on the table. Or not. They're going to let us thought seize that Clothies. If I want to Fatal Push this Mantis Rider, I should go Mesa here. I do want to be able to Fatal Push it, so on time. We took that Clothies. There's a General Ferris for us, so that's absolutely what we're slamming. My opponent will have removal for General, so I may have just like gotten him killed to like a Helix, for example. This is a Tribal Flames to my face for almost the full amount. So here you'll get to see us do the freebie border post thing, which is kind of neat. Actually, I may want to Metamorphose first, actually. That's a lot of lands. That's not great. I'll make another golem here, and then I'll make another golem. Looks like we're just getting that stomping ground out of that. It's not great that my hand is a bunch of lands. They are down to virtually top deck mode. We don't know about anything in their hand now. Those are just the cards that were revealed from the Cascade. So hopefully we get to keep the General Ferris a little bit longer. Tribal Flames my face. I think we win this one if they don't hit another Tribal Flames, that is. Would love to draw like a Helix, so that cuts that off too. So we're going to play our Croxa. I like this attack a lot. Makes them have to... Alright, so they have to top Tribal Flames or Cascade into Tribal Flames to win here, probably. Alright, in the battle of the value decks, we did manage to win. So that's good. Vindicate doesn't seem like what I want to be doing here. Blood Moon, absolutely. They do run a bunch of mana dorks, some builds of this deck. Clarion's interesting. This cleans up everything. This also kills their generals. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, yeah, it does. So we may want to play the Clarion. Do I have other ways to kill that card? Rip Apart kills him, too. Vanishing Verse doesn't. I may not want the Verse. I want to maximize on my ways to kill that card. So Kai's Guile does, the commands do. I mean, so does Vindicate, but I don't think Vindicate's really for this matchup. I could be wrong. If we're staying on the Blood Moon plan, maybe we do keep that. The Fatal Pushes are useful for hitting a lot of other things. It's worrisome that they don't hit that specific card, because that's what their deck's built around too, is General Ferris and just all these different Cascade cards. Try to gain some value. Something to think about. We could bring in the Nahiri. We could bring in the Boros Charm, just because I know they have a lot of ways to kill my General Ferris, because they're playing a multicolored build as well. So we may want to bring in this. The problem with this card is this card also needs the flexibility for me to potentially be the aggressor. I feel like for this card to really excel. So maybe we don't bring this in. I do think that Kroxa is kind of slow by comparison to what my opponent's deck is doing, especially when they're on the play. They were on the play last game, but this is going to be them sideboarded. I don't know, I might be wrong about that to cut Kroxas. It's a very good card. The Kayas don't actually hit like I want them to. Like, yes, she would clean up some of the Golem tokens my opponent might be making. So for that reason, she could be important, but Nahiri can kind of do the same thing, sort of. Maybe we just play the Nahiri. We did really pull their hand apart game one, which was awesome. Yeah, I think Crocs is just a little bit slow. I might even like we didn't win that last game due to Croxa. We won that last game due to I got to stick a General Ferris. They never answered, right? So actually, give me Kaya. Although maybe we should run Vindicate over Kaya, because Vindicate hits. Yeah, actually, I do want to try to just go after their mana, don't I? Because they're like 5-color greed. So let's play all our land disruption, I should say. I think that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. It's a fun little greedy deck our opponent's playing. Hopefully we get to Bloodbound them, right? Speaking of Blood Moon, this is not a great hand to do it, but I could Thrilling away the Culligan's Command or something. I think this hand's just solid. No turn 1 mana dork from them. And they might not be playing it. Drew a Clarion. Okay. I like that Clarion gives me a little insurance if they do have what's-his-face. So probably be Kavu. This is the 5/5 Kavu because they have Triumph. So there's our third land. I think I'm still supposed to Thrilling Discovery. That is a lot of lands. Oh boy. Gosh, to dumpster both Culligan's commands to just hit a bunch of land there. It's a little sad. Get a Helix. I cut them on a lot of colors if I kill the Zagoth Triumph. That's not the plan though, right? The plan is play Marsh Flats. Yeah, hope to draw live. Yeah, we want to kill the Kavu, because that Kavu is ginormous. Down to 13 already. Like, we could moon them here, and then they're probably not doing anything else, though, and I have all of the basics out that I really need to have out to still function. I might just want to moon them right here. But the problem is well, actually there isn't a huge problem, right? I can just follow up with, like, the Kabu's going to shrink drastically. I actually think this is fine. Let's just slam it. The fact that it shrinks the Kabu, I think, actually makes that a legitimate play. So we have a lot of time now to just, like, clean up their board with the Clarion. They do play some number of basics. I think they play, like, Basic Forest. Their Metamorphosis still work, so it's not like they're done. Their deck certainly can still play a little bit of Magic despite the Blood Moon. So we do need to be doing, like, I can't just hope to win just because of this, how strong this card is in this matchup. They're gonna exile my Kolaghan's Command instead of loot. I feel like they should be looting with this, but I think we just sweep up their. Oh, nice, we drew Metamorphose. We drew Metamorphose, that's great. Like that they're not doing anything, that is great news. Gives me time to put the Gigantha in my hand, or I can just play this General Ferris with a Metamorphose behind him. We probably got this guy. Thinking of just putting Gigantha in my hand. Hey, we finally did it. We put the Gigantha in our hands. In our hand. I shouldn't say good games and good luck with the rest of your league, actually, because that was their last match. But maybe we gave them something to think about, right? Like the greedy 5-color Draco build of General Ferris is kind of the quote-unquote, like, become kind of the version that people are gravitating towards. I think that variant of the deck is the stronger deck, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of benefits to being a Blood Moon variant of General Ferris, and hopefully you guys just got to see that, why I think maybe we haven't figured that deck out, and I do think that this color combination is really nice with General Ferris. We're only dipping into one extra color, and black I think adds a lot to this deck, gives us Kaya's Guile, gives us Kolaghan's Command, gives us Kroxa, so I think we actually are really onto something here with this. I just slapped this deck together, so hey, we're up against Doomwake, fellow streamer. I said, hey there, friends. Streamer Showdown. Good luck and have fun. I'll keep this. It's maybe one more land than I want to see. But we have the Discovery. This is Monkey, and I don't have the turn 1 answer. Would love a Fatal Push right about now. Didn't get there. Let's do the best we can. Oh, you know what? I may have wanted to lead on a different land. Do they have a discard outlet for the Asthma? They don't. Probably just grab the Spell Bomb. There's my fatal push that I needed. Don't have an answer to my General Ferris. It's exciting to be playing against another fellow streamer. If anybody's willing to go over there, and I won't go over there obviously since we're playing against one another, but if anybody's willing to check out the other perspective of this showdown, I'd be interested to hear after the match, of course, like some of their tech, because Doomwake has been working on different Urza Saga builds. They should be able to thought monitor now. Oh, maybe they're card shy. It stinks that I'm not gonna be able to Helix though. We're gonna see them either spellbomb my General Ferris. Hey, what's up, Aaron? We got a little bit of a streamer showdown going on right now, Aaron. So we're going to see them Aether Bomb my General Ferris. I'm actually going to dump the Triome and an extra Ferris. Of course, we drew one of the cards where I do actually want to make my 4th land drop. We're in a lot of trouble because the constructs just grew to 5/5s. So we may be losing this after all, but in fairness, there's some pretty ridiculous things in their deck, namely Urza's. So you might be wondering, well, Bruce Spy, why do anything else, right? It's a good point. So Colligan's Command could almost save us here. If we still had General Ferris on the table, we could maybe have won. K-Command, kill a construct, kill Emery. K-Command, kill the monitor, kill some constructs. It's fine. They needed to have like something very specific, like a spell bomb, to kill General Ferris. They did happen to have it though. So Needle to name gives us a third answer to the Urzas. Vanishing Burst is very weak. That comes out in this matchup. I think the Kai's Guiles are also weak. Maybe Vindicate's too slow. I do like that Kaya can minus to take out tokens. Clarion's interesting. Vandal Blasts are good. Because if we draw them early, they'll just take out an artifact. We draw them late, they kill all my opponent's artifacts, which is pretty good. Maybe we'll play the Rip Apart and the Rakdos Charm. I think the Helixes can be really hit or miss in this matchup. We do want to kill Asmar, but like I think I just want like the ability to kill the bigger threats. Might still just play the Clarion. It's pretty easy for me to kill multiple threats. Generals like Mentor, Young Pyromancer, the token's so big, can't be burned by Bolt. Yes, the tokens it makes Aaron are 4/4s. Also, General Ferris himself is relatively protected in the format. That's not true against my opponent's deck, however. They're kind of an exception. Yeah, let's play the Clarion, I think. I don't think I play Boros. I don't think I play Kaya. I think I don't even play Nahiri. I think we just want the lifelink that Sorin offers. I think Crocs is also a little slow for this matchup, come to think of it. I mean, I might still run one Crocs. But the Kaya's... Kaya actually has lots of different targets in this matchup. Doesn't really strike me as a Nahiri matchup in the same way. Like, I feel like Nahiri is useful in some of the same matchups that Crocs is going to be useful in. So I should just play the Kayas. I think there's plenty of things for her to exile in this matchup, and that's where she kind of excels. There's also some sub-graveyard themes going on for our opponent. Sam looks not awful. Very straightforward, just get this, start doing things. So hopefully we can win this matchup after sideboarding. And that's the thing, you're playing anything like Abzan or Mardu or even some of the control decks in the format, like you're losing some percentage points game one, but after board, you know, you're hoping to have a lot of the right answers. We have the right tools in now, whereas like Helix wasn't all that great. The Crocs is a little slow. Vindicate's kind of laughable in this matchup too. So hopefully we've got the right combination of answers in right now. Yeah, it's good to see you, Aaron. There's a Dirty Rags. I don't know what basic we want yet, because we do have our Blood Moons in. As much as I'd love to Inquisition my opponent, let's just take out the Ragavan. We may want to take a turn Inquisitioning the opponent before we play General, so that maybe we can remove one of their answers to the General. Emery, huh? Another Ragavan. May not have that luxury. There's a Vandal Blast for me. So yeah, we either dig into their hand here and try to stop anything that they could have that would answer the General Ferris, or I just no-fear it. I think I'm supposed to no-fear this. It's more likely that I draw the Swamp. So I'm actually going to grab the Plains here. Affinity with Ragavan. My opponent's deck is not really Affinity. They're it looks like an Urza Saga blended into an Asmore deck. They're just playing some of the more powerful cards that just recently came out, it looks like. Not really any sort of specific cohesion to their deck other than Urza's. Emery seems to be part of the glue. Just a lot of good stuff going on. So this is, you know, do they answer the general or not kind of a situation. They did have the spell bomb in our first game to slow down my general affairs progress. So hopefully that's not the case. That's an Urza. Saga good in so many. Yeah, cookbook. Just gotta live long enough to overload this Vandal Blast, maybe. Another General Ferris. Drew a Bloodstained Mire. Very real chance that this last card is not something they could actually cast. Ah, Ragavan, sweet. So we get the Rags, and we play out the General. I also could have grabbed the Gigantha that's in my companion zone. That may have actually been better, but I kind of like making another Golem right now, right here. So next turn we get to overload this Vandal Blast, and we probably, I wouldn't say we win, but it sets them back significantly, but they're going to rebuild pretty nicely. They've got 2 baubles to draw from. We clean up some of the clutter. We do have to shock to do the Vandal Blast. Ooh, another Urza Saga? That sucks for us. And Vandal Blast, of course, is not multicolored, so it's not like I'm making more golems when I do this. This is Urza activation. A Moxie Ember. Now let's remember, I'm not killing the Emery or the Urza with the Vandal Blast. I think we have to rip next turn. There might be a couple cards I could draw to that might make me not want to. We'll take that. It's a counterspell. Looks like it. I didn't have enough mana to also Inquisition them. Gross. Not much I could do about that. Kind of just have to hope they don't have that. It's a bit of an uphill battle, right? Like, we didn't win game 1. Won't be long before Urza's maybe gets the Banhammer. Real chance it gets the Banhammer. Down to 10 I go. Thought C's. Emery and a Rebuke. Don't really care about the extra Emery unless I remove the first one. There's just a lot going on here. We really did need that Vandal Blast to land. Either Spell Bomb away a Golem. Games. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if we could have waited a turn to pull the trigger on the, I didn't think that I could though. I felt like I needed a Vandal Blast when we did. We didn't have an extra mana to check their hand for a counterspell. And then they did top another Urza's. I do feel like in that matchup, like I kind of need to see Pithing Needle and Blood Moon because the Urza Saga is just kind of can run away with that matchup. Them just getting those free extra constructs just is tough. So I think elements like the Blood Moon or the sideboard Pithing Needle are kind of important. I wonder if I should even go up on more needles. I think needle's actually pretty good right now. You can use it on both Asmore and you can also use it on. Well, we're 1 for 1 in the league. That's not too bad. Tommy says Doomwake's been crushing with it. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he had the Metallic Rebuke when he did, right? I wish I would have had extra mana or time to... I did have an Inquisition the turn we went for the overloaded Vandal Blast. I do wish I would have had time to... yeah, let's see. Game 1, he bounced my General Ferris with a Spell Bomb. And then Game 2... I mean, in fairness, I may have wanted a mulligan my Game 2 hand. It basically just had a General Ferris and nothing much else going for it. I may have wanted a mulligan Game 2, my 7 that I kept. But yeah, I'm wondering if I want more Pithing Needles, because I do think that Needle's important right now to name Urza Saga. That would give us 2 main deck good ways to handle... I mean, I do have lots of ways to just remove the constructs. We're playing stuff like K-Command and such. I do think that the Vanishing Verse is getting worse and worse as it looks like the meta is shifting to who can do the most busted thing with Urzas. Maybe we just can't be playing Vanishing Verse in the main deck anymore. Maybe I should just be like main decking Akaya or Vindicate or something in that slot. Or the Nahiri. The Nahiri might be fine. She's very flexible. She's just a good card. Maybe I should just be main decking the Nahiri. Just a thought. I think the Vanishing Verse is great. I just think that there's quite a few decks right now that don't care. We have to have Pyroblast. Alright. We're still doing pretty decent though in this overall. I might even keep this. Since we're on the play, I think I could get away with this. Oh no, we're not on the play, never mind. Maybe I can't get away with this. Hey, lucky enough. I think I may still turn 1 my Inquisition. This is quite a few lands. So that's not good. Yes, I added 1 to the sideboard, Tommy. We did. That actually happened when I switched into Gigantha. Maybe I just grab the Narset right now. If I take the counter spell, we could stick the Blood Moon. That's not true. Or yes, it is. I do care about that Narset though. But yeah, we added a Clarion to the sideboard. Ooh, they grabbed a non-basic. Excellent, excellent. We kind of want them to tap up for the Narset, right, and not hit a force. Another non-basic. Ooh, juicy, juicy, juicy. Yeah, I kind of want to. I know that affects my Metamorphose, the Narset does. Another Cryptic. Do we just get to, like, moon this guy out of existence? That would be something. Don't have the force. It does stink to lose too, but then again, I've witnessed a couple of Doomwake streams, just popped my head in. Let's make sure we don't Metamorphose, but on their turn. We could Metamorphose during my opponent's turn. I don't think I want to. I think I just want to put my companion in my hand. But we could Metamorphose during our opponent's turn to draw the card. They're discarding down. That's excellent for us. We're going to get this first game off of Blood Moon, perhaps. Ooh, a Subtlety. Okay. I'll top the Giganta. I don't really know if I like Subtlety in Esper Control, because it's kind of like more like a tempo card to me. I feel like Subtlety is like a tempo play. You know? It's just a thought. Sweet. 3 wins. Yeah, I think Pithing Needle #2 could be good if we want to be, until it gets banned, that is. Maybe we just don't play a Vanishing Verse. There you go, second Pithing Needle. Easy. Alright, so Esper. I think I like the second Vindicate. Like, we like all of our commands pretty much, right? Like, we want to also be threat dense. I'm not interested in Terminate, really. Verse still hits Jace, but like, these cards are kind of weak. Fatal pushes 2 to a degree. Needle hits all the different walkers in their deck. Clean to Dust can give their Snapcaster Mage plans fits. Guttural Response comes in for this matchup, and that's sweet synergy. That was somebody's suggestion. This is cool. I do like that suggestion for General Ferris. It's cool. Yeah, the Blood Moons are fine. They're going to play around them better this time, though. Their deck does have enough basics to not get punished by these. Maybe we take them out when they're on the play. Play the Nahiri. Play the Boros Charm, actually, for Dam. We give everything... Sorry, we give all our creatures indestructible. Seems a little cutesy, right? But it's actually kind of neat. Bringing the Kayas. I'll bring in one Moon, I suppose, just because like it looks like there's nothing else I want. So pretty much just bring in all our threats in this matchup. Hey. Take out like our terminate effects. This hand's actually not as bad as it looks. We'll keep it. I may want to stick the border post turn 1, just so it doesn't get countered later. Although we already have three lands that can't be affected by that. Here's our guttural response. A little risky against control to put this out there, I guess, but we'll do it. I'd like to hold the Malakir Rebirth. I'd rather not play it out as a land in this matchup because this can also protect General Ferris to like a sweeper. So we've got an Inquisition with response behind it. Looks like they're trying to counter this. We're going to see them get a lot more basics this time. Have a response. Purge. And counterspell. I might just let them purge my Moon next turn, or so. I care a lot more about the counterspell than I do a random Celestial Purge. I don't care about the Blood Moon in this matchup, certainly because they already have 3 basics. Our deck doesn't really care about Purge. I guess they could purge a Golem token, but it's not a big deal. Ooh, actually I should have taken it because, yeah, that's true. They could hit my border post. That's fine. Didn't think about the border post as I should have. It's going to be okay. The top of our deck was pretty kind to me to give us another land. Like, I think the Blood Moon also just hurts us more at this point, even though I do have a Metamorphose in my hand. Like, I could try to see if he cares about this. That's been played. That's been played. Yeah, we could try to see if they care about this. I don't think they will. Let's see if we can get them to counter it. Okay. Good thing we took game 1. This Jace might be lights out for us. And they have a fetch to go with him. Not bad. Not bad. Our Blood Moon's down, so I might as well just fetch a good corresponding land here. I think we might be losing this one. Too early to tell, but me not having any pressure immediately for the Jace is bad. Even if I bring back Kroxa, he could minus his Jace. It was a long shot, right, to like hope that this got counter answered. It did slow us down a little bit to lose the border post to the Purge. They ditch a Kaya's Guile. Now, if I crack the clearing, I have to draw a different black or red source because the plains in my hand doesn't cut it, but I think I should just cycle this because we noticed that the Crocs is not good enough anyway. I think we're just going to die to this Jace. But we'll be on the play for game 3, which is important. It's important for us to take game 1 against Esper Control, like we did. Not that Blood Moon is usually how I get there. It's not usually how I get there. I think they were fetching greedily because they wanted to set up having Dam and also... Oh wow, second Planeswalker? No, it's probably just out of reach. I think this got shuffled away with the Jace earlier, actually. This K-Command doesn't kill either Walker. There's a Spellbomb. I can't cast my Croxa. Don't really want them to know about the Malakir Rebirth. I think we're just toast here, right? Oh, you know what? I can hit the Jace. What am I doing? I forgot that Boros Charm does hit Planeswalkers too. Alright. Let's run it back. I think a Singleton Blood Moon's fine, because like their mana's not that greedy. Like yes, they're Esper, yes, like none of their color pie is red. I think the Singleton Blood Moon is good. Vanishing Burst might still want to be in because it does hit Jace. Maybe I don't even want to bother with Blood Moon. That's not true. When I'm on the play, we could get him with it. Crocs is a little bit less good in this matchup because they do play Kaya's Giles. Maybe I'll trim down to a Singleton, although it's weird to not have as many threats. But they did show us Celestial Purge as well. Purge hits pretty much all of my threats. We got a Dreadboard this time, that feels good. Got a Blood Moon, but no easy to get to white source because I don't have a white fetch. A border post for us. Alright, Bloodstain go. No fetching for me. A Boros Charm. Do you think I could get them to counter the border post? I wonder if I could get them to counter my border post, actually. You've seen border posts only in Cascade Balance decks? Yeah. We're playing it here because it's a freebie. Alright, they might go after it with like a Purge or something. Maybe that's too hopeful. This might be a little Teferi. Or Narset. Prismatic Ending. So I kind of like just killing their Narset here. Our mana's actually fine. What can I not cast if I take the Mountaineer? Let's just go with Foundry. It's fine. I think I just slammed Nahiri, honestly. Ooh, I could even play her off the Inspiring Vantage. We know that they have a Prismatic. Prismatic will have a hard time hitting Nahiri, but alright, just don't have a Force. They may have a Force. We'll see if they have the Force. They do have a force. Okay. I don't really want a Blood Moon because it cuts me on white. I mean, I do have a Metamorphose, though. There's the Teferi I kind of figured they might have. They might bounce my Border Post. No. Decide against it. So maybe we just bore the Teferi. I'm not that concerned with Teferi, though, folks. That's not really what I'm that scared of. That's not what I'm the scaredest of. Like, both Blood Moon and the Border Post can get bounced or answered with the Prismatic Ending. The Blood Moon really doesn't do all that much. I kind of want them to play against this, to fight over it even. Kind of want them to do something about it. Like, even just spend a turn doing their Prismatic Ending. So they're going to return my moon. There's a General Ferris, which is really the prize. He's really what we want to resolve. I don't care so much about the Blood Moon. Can I get another counterspell out of you? Looks like a Cryptic, perhaps. So I'm going to draw a couple cards off of Archmages. Teferi, Time Raveler going up. Glacial Fortress. We may see them Prismatic, the Blood Moon. Prismatic Ending. We decide not to. They're holding strong. They can do it during my end step due to Teferi. Could I possibly get them to... I guess because we have Kolaghan's Command, maybe I don't care if I get Ferris countered. So we can get him back. The problem is, if I want to cast Ferris, I have to Morphos. So while his blue is tapped out, maybe we should just go get it now. I might have another counterspell, but it's a little harder for them without blue mana. They could force. Make them ditch a polluted delta. Assuming what they're doing is end step, ending my Blood Moon. They decided not to. Maybe they're giving up their Teferi Time Raveler to bounce the Blood Moon. It's not really a big deal for them. Ooh, they have their basic Swampy Fracture. Okay. Three cards in my opponent's hand. Would love to top deck a hand disruption spell. My fear is what they have here is Teferi. So we'll resolve General, but they probably... Not probably, they might have that counterspell here. So Cavern, Hand Disruption, those are some of my best draws. But we do want to definitely... I'm more interested in killing their Teferi Hero of Dominaria than actually sticking the General Ferris. Ooh, another land for us? That's not great. Let's not forget to put our companion in our hand. Ferris. Alright, good. We actually kind of want that to happen. It stinks that I'm not going to have enough mana to put the Gigantha in my hand, but let's take care of their Teferi. Are both Blood Moons in? Or just the one of? Oh, they are both in, so I should fetch out some of my basics. We should do that. Gigantha doesn't get hit by Prismatic. We know their hand is a Prismatic and one unknown. I actually don't mind the Vamefire going to my hand. In matchups like this, I actually like to leave our Triumphs in the deck. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, get him. 1, 2. Yeah, we can't play it yet. They have a Subtlety. Let's see, he's Vantress. Yeah, we may end up losing this matchup. I mean, like, just like I was describing earlier, right? Our Espers, our Abzans, decks like mine, like, these grindy decks that certainly become stronger after board, but, like, this could just be a Jace. Yeah, and then we're just out of luck. My opponent gets to Subtlety my Gigantha, have the Border Post spin. I like the 2 of Border Post. I think when we had 3, or even I think we tried at one point Equinox 4 copies, I like the 2 of a lot with General Ferris. It kind of like lets us have some natural synergy. We were trying to find more synergy cards than just... No monkeys right now. We were trying to find some more synergy cards besides just the Metamorphose. So it's kind of nice that these are like built into my mana base. I don't know. We started off great today, but then we ran into Doomwake's pile. It's strong. I'm not calling it a pile because it's bad. I'm calling it a pile because it really is like just a little, just trying to play all the most powerful cards from Modern Horizons 2. Some of the most powerful cards. Ooh, okay, so let's try to resolve the Gigantha, and then behind it, we've got this Needle. Imagine a Subtlety is going to happen, right? Probably still put this on top. Well, let's Needle the Jace the Mind Sculptor better than all. They can't quite bounce Needle yet. We're holding cards because I have things like Nahiri. I've also got the 2 of Discovery, Thrilling Discovery. Let's go ahead and name Jace. These cards have all been used up. This game's not over yet, although they do have an active Castle Vantress. Things like Vantress are why I don't mind keeping in Blood Moon in this matchup. Let's play my 5/5. This is getting Snap Cryptic. Snap Counterspelled. Oh, they don't have a Cryptic yet this game. It's not looking great for us. But Esper's tough. We've done lots of little modifications to our deck, more or less Caverns of Souls, etc., to try to make this matchup more doable. Teferi sacrifices himself to bounce the Needle. Now I need maybe another piece of hand disruption to sneak this Needle back onto the table. We're taking 5 down to 8. We don't have a lot of time. Gigantha down. Thoughtseize. This will put me to basically dead, but I need to resolve this Needle. Ooh, they have another counterspell. They did Cryptic and draw a card. They did Jace. This is another Cryptic. Even General's not enough anymore because Subtlety flies, so I need like a second Kolaghan's Command. I don't know. K Command number 2 kind of gets us close. No, I mean we've lost. It's a good game. All right, Good luck with the rest. I mean, did Mardu not get the love it needs? I don't know. I think Mardu's got a lot of new tools. General Ferris, to name one. Curious what was even left. We had, like, stuff in our deck. We had stuff. We had things to draw to. Maybe cutting a Croxa was bad. I think we sideboarded okay. Maybe taking out the second Croxa was wrong, though. I think I liked a lot of our other decisions. Maybe the Croxa and the Vanishing Verse, though, were wrong decisions. Just because we got them with Blood Moon game 1 of that match doesn't mean I should have kept them in. I think I cut down to 1 game 2, and then game 3 I brought back in the second one. I think Esper actually does run enough basics to, if they have to. It certainly takes them off cards like Doom, etc. But if they have to, I think they can fetch out a lot of basics, and they do naturally run quite a few basics. By the way, that also makes me wonder if I should be running not just maybe a second Cavern of Souls. It's really just that matchup where I wish we had like a second Cavern of Souls. The Reflecting Pool might be overkill. I also wonder if we want second Plains before I play first Mountain. The Mountain does make me take a little bit less damage, but I wonder if just 2 Plains, 2 Swamps. Mixer? Oh, yeah, the Mixer. I think it's in my tech box in the closet, Steve. Yeah, the blue box. I'll have to dig it up for us. I don't know if I can tonight. I've got drums tonight. I think maybe second Cavern. Like, anytime I play that matchup, I kind of want the second Cavern of Souls. Human Soldier, Elder Giant, Elemental. Anyway. Yeah, you play that matchup and you're just like, man, I kind of really wish I was playing second Cavern. I think Nahiri's happy in the main deck, I think. Ooh, I don't have enough loan balance for a second Cavern, so I'll have to fix that. Grab our Gigantha. Well, let's finish out the rest of this league as best we can. Our opponent is also a Gigantha deck. The sand looks fine. We'll keep this. I'm okay with getting the basic swamp even though we can't cast the Thrilling. The Thrilling is really just a refuel, and after we have General on the table, like we want this card to say, gain 2 life, make a 4/4 golem, then you may discard blah blah blah. This is kind of a card for me to cycle us, like our top decked hand disruption. It's kind of my thought process behind that card. Looks like they might be Titan. They're still fetching, if you're wondering. We got rid of Anger when we switched into Gigantha. There's Rags. So we're not killing the Rags. That's not good. Ah, it's this matchup again. Alright. Let's just take the Kavu. We did play this matchup earlier in the league. Let's see if we can still win it. Actually, hang on. I gotta finish this league before I can trade that card back. Let me just save reject. I'll fix it after this. That's what I get for trying to multitask, right? I think they're just going to play my General Ferris. Which stinks because that's part of their deck too. So that's really not good. I'll have to Metamorphose into Helix and kill their General Ferris, which is actually my General Ferris. This is going all sorts of not good for us. Don't think there's another option for us. Don't think there's another option. So let's Morphose into our Helix colors. Very carefully. White and red. Kill you. Looks like they're going to be playing Draco next. Have I ever used the mana ability of Gigantha yet? No, I have not. It's just been a 5/5 so far. It's been a 5/5. It's a 5/5 that's also multicolored for the General Ferris. I haven't hated it. We played the deck for a while without a companion, but there were several matchups where we just went up against other decks also playing companions, and literally just the fact that they had an extra card over us decided the match. So kind of out of that, not necessarily frustration, but just purely just to see if we would benefit from having the consistency of a threat that we can always have. Like, even though it's really expensive, right? I mean, all the companions are much more expensive now than they were before. But I think just consistently having another multicolored card is really good for this deck. General's so good for the opponent. Yes. Not in their hand as we saw it, right? At the time, they had, like, a lot of their not multicolored stuff. So I can finally push the monkey. I think, though, I don't even necessarily care. They're at the point where they've already gotten the mana boost and bonus and benefits from Ragavan. I think I just let it go. I think I just want to establish General Ferris. And hope they don't have like a Helix or something here. They're playing the 5-color Cascade deck, and we certainly preyed on them earlier on in the league. Doesn't look like I am this time. I do like this Ragavan build of their deck, perhaps. I liked us playing Ragavan too. Maybe that was a mistake for me to move away from Rags. I wonder if I still have them. It might have been wrong. Let's open a new copy. It might have been wrong to move away from Ragavan. Or bring my curve back down. Like, maybe I could cut one mana source. I do think while the border posts are sweet, I feel like it's the kind of card we want to hold until we for sure have a general, so maybe it should just be like a 1 or 2 of. I'm just thinking out loud with you guys. Maybe we should still be playing Rags. I do like Rags in this deck because we can clear a path for him with our removal. We can take away their answers to him. I don't know. I'm back and forth on that card. I am back and forth. I do think I like the second needle actually in the meta. That's right. I also, okay, so we cut one of these. I do like these though. Maybe they're just not worth it. Like, what they do for the deck is kind of sweet. the little bit of synergy they have for General Ferris, but it might just not be worth it. I also feel like we're seeing a lot of land, and I wonder if that's because we're both a Manamorphose deck and we also had... I wonder if this deck would function with Rags off of just 20 land, and then maybe we should just main deck Sorin and Nahiri. I don't know. Makes me wonder. Maybe I was quick to cut Monkey. That stinks that they had the Helix. We're probably losing this game. Down to 15. They probably played those two out, right? Yeah, Mesa, Wood Foothills. They see my Malakir Rebirth. Awesome. Yeah, what are we doing here? Just kill... I have to see another black source if that's what we're doing. Kill Rags. So Noble Hierarch. Okay, Sorin for us. Alright, so let's... so that gives me the Revolt, not that we need it. I can't cast back the Croxa anyway yet, so let's dump that and let's dump the Sorin, keep the Fatal Push. Could take the Might of Alara from their hand. This does represent a lot of damage. Oh, we're in a lot of trouble, folks. I guess next turn they attack with both Rags and the Scion of Draco. They don't get the they won't get the Exalted trigger, but certainly they might spend the Might of Alara. This is kind of a fun card for their deck, the Domain deck. It's like a Domain Cascade deck. Speaking of Cascade, is that what they're doing? Mantis Rider. I do not have the necessary Revolt to kill that. That sucks. It's also got Hexproof because of Scion. Yeah, I do really like the Scion of Draco. I think it adds like a lot of cool stuff to some of the creatures in their deck. I'm going to put this on the Mantis, even if I push this, and then next turn I terminate the Scion. I'm still going to 1 here, so I'm actually just dead to the Hierarch. Oh, they had double Might of Alara. That's hilarious. All right. I don't know if I'm... Oh, and then we drew the Blood Moon. Blood Moon's really good in this matchup. That's really funny to me. Well, actually, it's less so good in the Hierarch builds of this deck. Riftpart's fine. Clarion's fine. What's not great? Verse, they have a lot of multicolored stuff. I think the Verse... They're also, if you're wondering what my opponent's deck is doing, they're also a General Ferris Rockrick deck. But yeah, the Blood Moons are good. Vindicate's slow. Although, I kind of like Vindicate when I'm doing their... Maybe we play Kaya, because they do have the Mana Dorks to remove. For us to remove. This would also... I could take out their General Ferris. Guile is actually a little awkward in this matchup, as are the K commands. Because that's the thing, is they're playing... What is that card? They're playing... oh, that's not true. K-Command can 2-for-1 pretty easily because of Draco. I think Kai's Guile's awkward because they have the Mana Dorks. Helix can be awkward too. I do like that Rakdos Charm efficiently hits Draco. Yeah, we're moving away from Vanishing Bruce, actually. I think that's either going to be in the sideboard or not at all. Yeah, we actually cut it here, as you can see. I do like that the Boros Charm, when we're bringing it in against the decks that do have sweeper effects for General Ferris, they're also usually decks that have Planeswalkers, so I like that that card does have that. Does have relevant multiple modes. I don't think we'll ever use the Double Strike on this, though. So Kaya makes sense to me. Keki Man, certainly Blood Moon, Clarion. These sweepers. I like the Rip Apart, unlike the Lightning Helix. Like, although Helix is decent in this matchup, that may still ultimately be end up being what I'm running. Just because it's mana efficient, it triggers General Ferris. It helps us gain some life because my opponent's going to be on some number of Tribal Flames. Maybe even the playset of Tribal Flames. We can cut the Cling to Dust, though. Whoops. I do think that Croxa is a little awkward in this matchup. He's a little slow to do what we want. Let's actually still play the Helixes and the Guiles. And then I have room for, like, Charm or Vindicate. Or the first Croxa or Nahiri. Let's just play Nahiri. Now let's see if we can get him these next two games. Yes, the old Reflecting Pool draw. Now, what is this land going to be in the future? I think this would be a Cavern of Souls here, so it wouldn't be much better. Let's go ahead and mulligan that. This hand is doable. I may want to put back the Kaya, actually. And just play out the Rebirth. This is Monkey, we push it. I don't know, I do think that the format, though, like in fairness, I do think that folks are gunning for rags. They know what they're doing as far as rag events concerned. So I don't know. I kind of want to bring him back, but then again, I remember why we cut him in the first place. Maybe third Fatal Push would actually be smart, because we need to be able to ansel the rags. The dirty rags. Like, not everything in our deck has to be multicolored. We originally started the deck with 3 push, 4 acquisition, 2 Thoughtseize. Maybe more fast lands, like a Black Cleave Cliffs or something. Maybe the first Black Cleave. So that's 21, 22 lands if you count the Malakir. Wish there were like other free spells besides Cascaders that we could play. So they have Noble. Let's check their hand before I consider pushing the Ignoble. So a Rest in Peace I don't really care about. Didn't we take out the Croxes? I took out the Croxes. I don't care about this card whatsoever. I think I just take their Kavu? Maybe not. I can push the Kavu. Maybe I take Flames, actually. Nah, I probably let them have Flames. Let's see, Temple Garden, Blood Crypt. They're kind of far away from the Scion of Draco. They have to draw like a fetch. Take the Kavu, then push the Noble. Let's do some math. So Draco is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he costs 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it might be correct to take out the Noble, Ignoble. And I did leave in both of my Blood Moons. So that is kind of the plan I'm on, isn't it? All right, let's just do it. You got it. Hey man, love the stream. Any idea on a good discount for mana traders? I don't know if I can help you with that, Fazatol. Or, yeah, Zot. I can't actually help you there, I don't think. As much as I would love to. I would. I would love to help you there. But I don't possess such a thing. Helix. Let's still continue to float red-black. Inquisition, I'll take the tribal. So there's a noble. I think if we're staying on the same plan that I'm on already, I should just take the noble hierarch. That seems in line with what we were doing. I could just draw a card as well. Ooh, now I'm kind of regretting that I did that. I have a Sorin I probably can't cast. Yeah, I'm really glad you're enjoying the stream, though, Zot. I'm sorry I can't help you with a discount from Mana Traders. There are a few MTG influencers or streamers out there that probably do have like an affiliate code. I think Doomwake actually that we played against earlier might be one of them. All right, so there's the Scion. Cannot Helix it. There's the forest we knew about. So the hand is a Flames, one unknown. I'm going to go down to 12. And we may see them put Gigantha in their hand. They decide to Flames me. That's the turn. Try out. But we're in trouble. We're in trouble if my plan is make a token here. We'll play that out. Yeah, in this Gigantha build we do actually want to make our 5th land drop, I suppose, but I think I'll block the Scion no matter where they attack, just out of respect for, oh, are they helixing my vampire? Alright, do they top deck the win? Or do we draw something juicy? Like I said earlier, we did, in this same very league, we did play against the 5-color Cascade, what we're up against right here. Speaking of which, oh, that's a very good sign that they're just putting Gigantha in their hand. It's a very good sign. They are killing Sorin. Okay, Sorin soaks 5. He's down. Vantage. All right, so if I kill Ignoble, they might not get to kill. Yeah, we're in a lot of trouble, folks. I don't think I play out this Vantage. Unless I draw, like, exactly what 1 mana spell would be a reason for me to... I don't think I should play out the Vantage because we have things like Nahiri and the 2 of Thrilling Discovery, so I'm not going to play this out. Like, once we hit 5 lands, 5 mana, we're probably pretty safe. Although maybe I just open myself up to a sideboard artifact destruction, right? Rags. Rags with dash. Rags with dash put me to 4. And Nahiri, they thankfully can't cast. It's my Nahiri. Would much rather play this, I think, than the Gigantha, but down to 4. Rags goes back to hand. We're in a precarious spot, folks. You don't have to hear me say that to know that that's the case. Another land for us. Yeah, maybe we just had too many lands in this build, making me wonder. Play Gigantha, now we have a block on the Scion. We know their hand is Gigantha Ragavan. We're swinging, I'm blocking. Oh, it flies. What am I doing? We didn't have another play, though. I'm sitting here thinking we can block the Draco. Yeah, I wonder if we just had too many lands in this build. Like, I liked the border post. I liked what was going on with border post. In general, I thought that was really innovative. One of you folks actually suggested that. I think, though, it's been a little clunky and hurt us a couple times. Too many. But I'm glad we tested it. I don't feel like that was a waste. Like, if we're really thinking this is the deck that I want to be working on, you know, with the changes with Modern Horizons, I wish we had something that just like screamed Mardu to me. You know, even just like a Lingering Souls or something. I don't know. I think Souls is a little weak right now, though. I think third Fatal Push is a good idea. I think cleaner mana is good. So maybe, yeah, 2 Plains, 2 Swamp, Black Cleave, Cavern. I don't know. Kolaghan's command is really good right now. I wonder if I just want a third K command. I think the K command also getting back General is important because he's kind of our engine. We could play more discoveries, and then I can see some of these 1-ofs and 2-ofs more often. I do think the discovery's all right. We kind of need to see the right cards. This would be 22 lands. All right, so we win this one. We still get some. Actually, if I win this, then I have enough play points for us to do another league without needing to fork over. So we do. There's. I know you might be like, oh man, like we didn't do so hot this league. No, there's actually plenty at stake here because I've got 56 play points, so we would really love to win this last round. Speaking of running too many lands, here we are again. We'll keep this though. Alright, so my opponent won the die roll, but Esper Sentinel, the card's great. Card is great. Don't really want to pay the tax. They might just be on Death and Taxes. Could be Esper. I've seen Esper Stoneblade play Esper Sentinel. I've seen Esper Sentinel look really good in Taxes. What about Croxa? I'm playing a 2-of. I think Croxa's great. This is a cool little synergy. You think it's Hammer Time? I don't know if it's Hammer Time anymore. Esper Sentinel Unsettled. Barbell Boa with the raid of 13. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the Bruce by the Magic Eye Show. So yeah, what am I even doing here? If I cast anything, I guess I could Thoughtseize them and pay the Esper tax. I think that's what I'm supposed to do, is Thoughtseize them. Oh yeah, it's whenever you or crap, so they are still going to draw a card. But I think I just need to do something this turn. Yeah, Mariner is actually you or. So say no, we'll say yes. Like we do need to be doing things. Okay, cool. So we can take the company or we can take the Thalia. So the Thalia is going to set me back even more. They're just like playing like a weird like I tax you thing. The collected company though is going to be very expensive if they play out the Thalia. Might even just let them keep the collected company. What a weird deck. How's the deck feeling today? Not as good, Eagles. Did you play it yesterday? Eagles was building this. I'm actually working on... It looks quite a bit different now to you, doesn't it? Maybe. Second Pithy Needle, because I think Needle's really good right now. Not in this matchup. Thanks for the follow, Christy. What about Blood Braids? So there's some issues with... So first of all, I'd have to dip into a fourth color. I don't think I want to do that just yet. I mean, there's no really There's really not many good cascades in our color combination, right? There's bituminous, bituminous. I think it's bituminous. There's bituminous or bituminous blast. There's the Bloodbraid Marauder as well, but Bloodbraid Marauder would just hit Inquisitions and Thought Seizes and pushes in my build, right? There's Marauder, that's a cascade in our colors. But I don't know if we would get Delirium. But these other cascades are probably way too much mana for us. Didn't get a chance, went to bed after we raided Mana Symbol. I got a list C, ready to go. Nice. Well, let's talk about maybe doing something like that afterwards. Let me let them know we're thinking. I think I just have to take the Thalia, right? I think it just slows me down too much. All right, decision made. Because next turn I want to be able to kill somebody. Ooh, General Ferris. That's what I really want to do instead of casting anything. It's a fantastic draw. Which again makes me wonder, I feel like our deck is operating at 2 speeds. I just wish we had a way to more consistently see this card, the General Ferris. Never mind, I saw Metamorphose. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you, Sinforth. I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, like, there's Binominius, but I feel like often this would just, like, hit one of our non-multicolored cards. There's, you know, 11 bricks for any Cascade spell that we could run. I feel like it's not really what we're doing with this build. These are all in Commander set, right? These are not Modern Legal. I mean, Marauder's fascinating. It's just Marauder. I feel like, yeah, I don't think any of these are really what we're trying to do. This is a fascinating card, but it itself is not multicolored. Throes of Chaos. This card never really did anything. Cascade Seer is not a Cascade card. Just says it in the name. Why are you playing Cavern? It's really important to resolve your Ferris. There are quite a few people trying out. That's a great question. So I was playing the deck for a time without Caverns. I'm actually going up to a second copy, I think. I think the Metamorphose lets me get away with it, A. B, there's quite a few people jamming their Counterspell .decks right now. That's really the only reason, Christy. That's a great question. Shame we can't just play Eladamri's Call. Ooh, they hit a Reflector Mage. I think we're going to maybe lose this game. That would be unfortunate, but I think we are. Right? They've got double Mariner, so I can't really target and kill their stuff. They're drawing extra cards off the Sentinel. I think we're just bested, yo. They don't have like a super fast clock, but it's like it's almost as if my next turn needs to be play General again. Hope they don't have another Reflector Mage. Oh yeah, I can't cast it anyway. Was I supposed to play the Bloodstain and try to... What am I doing? Thrilling Discovery? Gain 2 life, try to draw to relevant cards? Gosh, we're just getting trounced here, maybe. I'll pay. I love it. This is actually a really cool build for Sentinel. Because I haven't been all that impressed with the card. I think it's dump these two, maybe. No. Let's dump a land and then terminate. Cling to Dust. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I've seen Esper Sentinel in like Taxes. I've seen it in Esper Stoneblade. I haven't been all that impressed with it in Esper Stoneblade. I've liked it much more in Modern Death and Taxes. I'm really liking it in what my opponent's doing though. You see that we did take the Thalia though, but they're playing Thalia. They're playing. I mean, now I'm thinking we took the wrong card since we top decked a General. I feel like I took the wrong card when I thought Seize, and I should have actually taken the Company. But I was thinking, like, no, like, they're going to put the squeeze on us, but then they had the second Mariner. Ooh, another Company. I think we're just dead. Yeah, this is a sweet little synergy. Sentinel, Unsettled Mariner kind of nonsense. I love it. 2 lieutenants. Isn't that lethal right there? So they're kind of playing like a just like a company build of humans. This is sweet. All right, we do have some tools for this matchup. Let's draw to them, shall we? I'm not disappointed at all. Maybe Kai is wrong for this. I'm not that interested in Moon. They showed us that they're only 3 color. They showed us that they're yeah, so they're like Bant humans. It's interesting. I think the Sorens are solid here. I think the Vindicate's too slow. Yeah, company is certainly a problem for us. I don't know. We were moving away from the border posts. How many mana sources am I going to be running in the future, right? We're going to be running 22. So let's mirror that in our list here. Is that something we're doing moving forward? That's 23, so let's cut a border post. Just so we mirror, like, I think we're getting flooded too often. I think I didn't maybe properly adjust our mana base for the playset of Metamorphosis. But we've been playing it like so. I think we just wanted to test them, right? The borders. Verse is okay. We can keep it. I think Crocs is a bit slow. In the same way that I don't really want Nahiri, I don't really want Croxa. I'd rather have Kaya's. Maybe even the Vindicates, even though they're expensive. I just want to remove their stuff. Yeah, I just want to remove their stuff. Cool. Let's see if we can't do our thing. Sand is not the greatest. Oh, did we leave the moons in? I meant to take them out. I did take them out. Good. I'll actually keep this. Yeah, it's very tempting with General Ferris to just like play like a 4-color, 5-color even deck. That is what a lot of other players are doing. What was I thinking about? The 3rd Kolaghan's coming out? I do think kicking that's pretty good right now. Let's just go get our Triome, I think. I mean, I am even considering 2nd Thrilling Discovery because I do think that being able to, I'll admit it really only has synergy for the Croxus, or like let's say we draw, or the Cling, or let's say we in the late game draw one of our hand disruption spells and we don't need them anymore. I do like that the, or like just drawing lands, I do like that Thrilling Discovery helps us to sift whilst triggering and making golems for us. I do like that these sift and help us dig to General Ferris. Maybe we'll just play a 3rd. It's up, Philosopher. Maybe I'll just play another Thrilling Discovery. Looks like at some point we were playing 3 copies. How am I liking it? So I was working on a Wynota Joiner of Forces deck for about a month, and then I started putting General Ferris in that deck because we actually had a lot of multicolored cards. Yeah, they have the Sentinel again. You know what I may want to do this time? I may just want to toast this guy and just let them draw the card so that I can like Kaya on time. I don't know. Champion. I mean, it's not like this counters the Terminate. It's just they draw a card. So we can Kaya's Guile away the Auric Champion. I can name Human, actually. It's probably more correct to name Human. Yeah, I like the look of what our opponent's doing from game one. I liked a lot of what was happening there. Noble Hierarch. It's cool that Reflecting Pool gets all the colors due to Cavern of Souls. So I'm going to sacrifice the Oic Champion, which basically has protection from my deck, so we do want to get rid of it. Alright, what about put in Emrakul for Nahiri combo? It'll counter mill if we run into it. It's an interesting thought. That is an interesting thought. Don't take that as me being dismissive. I'm thinking about what you just said, and I'm trying to. Wait, please. Pay for that, and I'm actually just gonna exile it. Might be correct for me to take out the Hierarch though instead of the Sentinel. I'm actually gonna get rid of the Noble Hierarch because we got a blocker for the Sentinel. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Yeah, I appreciate it, Sinforth. And take out the border post and just do ME for Nahiri Wombo. Sanctum Prelate. Number is 1. Thank goodness they didn't name 2. Whew, look at my hand. If they'd named 2. You're really just going to let me block here? Okay. Alright, I like the overall idea of the deck. It's interesting. It can be pretty explosive. Yeah, I think the most broken thing we're doing is just Metamorphose General. And I don't think we're necessarily doing... There are decks that are just dedicated to General. They're playing Agent, right? They're playing Shardless Agent. They're playing like a whole bunch of just like try to just make a whole bunch of golems. We're not really doing that approach. I'm trying to play a more like kind of early game fair game plan, and then the broken stuff that we're doing is once we have this on the table. So I do think some like more Thrillings or something is going to set us up to see General Ferris a little bit more often on turn 3. I don't know. Maybe we should even just play the playset. You're thinking more of alternate win conditions. Yeah, I mean, like when I added the Nahiri, my brain did go to something like Emrakul, perhaps. I think the Nahiri is just also just a very good grindy card. Since I'm only playing one copy, I don't know if we necessarily need it. Yeah, I wonder if I should just be playing a bunch of Thrilling Discoveries and just try to find General Ferris. I wonder if that's actually what I'm supposed to be doing. I also don't know if we need the Cling to Dust. I do have a couple of main deck Kai's Guile, and I'm trying to like take graveyard decks serious after board. Like Spellbomb, Charm, Extraction, Kaya's. Maybe we don't need this random main deck Cling. I don't know. It's not like I have nothing for the graveyard decks game 1. I do have Guiles. Monkey. I was playing a 3 of Monkey. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I think a lot of folks are actually prepared for this card. Obviously, we're a good shell for him, maybe because I can, like, you know, I can Thoughtseize or Inquisition, whatever they would have to kill Ragavan, but that means I'm not playing Ragavan turn 1. So, I don't know. I do think that I like Ragavan in this shell. We did play a 3 of at some point. It was nice to be able to... it was nice to be able to clear a path for the card. Yeah, Philosopher. Yeah, since we're in red, maybe we should just go back to playing Monkey. It's another prelate. I'll kill that prelate on 1 and make them discard a card. We get a fantastic image out of the opponent. We go back to naming 1. I'm with you. I'm with you, opponent. Alright, now that I've drawn an Inquisition, I actually do want to just kill this, right? Helix that, Inquisition them. So there's the Reflector Mage I care about for general. You can have that. They can't cast it. They need a blue source. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget about our Sanctum Prelate's like a spicy thing to hit off of a collected company, though. I gotta say, it is spice. I'm gonna Thrilling away this Silent Clearing and Metamorphose. Yes. Drew a Thoughtseize. We could take the Unsettled Mariner now. We have a lot of life points to work with. Even though this is like really painful to shock and then Thoughtseize this way. We had a lot of life points because, like, Helix. What else gave me so much life? Oh, I've been using Kaya to gain a lot of life. Yeah, I was wondering why we were sitting at so much life. It's Kaya. Kaya's actually quite good right now, I think. Anyway. Speaking of which, she's being attacked. Yeah, she is quite good at that. I should probably just kill the Thalia. But then again, I'm just gaining life. I wonder if I should even consider blowing up the Razor Verge. I think that's silly, though. I think I should just kill their Thalia. Like, I brought in Vindicate knowing that this would be, like, what could happen, where it's just, you know, 1-for-1-ing. Plus she removes Asmar, she removes Rhinos, the Karnstrucks. Yeah, I do think she's good right now. I just don't know if I should main deck her. I've got 2 in my sideboard. Yeah, let's just play the 3rd Discovery. I know I don't have a ton of synergy for them. Like, it's just the Croxes, really. I think the meta is not too friendly. I mean, I also get to dump, like, Blood Moons I don't need. So, like, I do think there's some inherent synergy in this card. I do like that this kind of reads, gain 2 life, you may discard 2 cards if you do draw 3, gain a 4/4 Golem in this build. I do think these are kind of sweet as a selection card in Mardu. So maybe we should just play the playset and just try to dig to the general. Kaya's almost lethal right now. Is she? Let's look at the exiled. She is, isn't she? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drew a Rip Apart. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This looks like a company, though. Our worst outcome. Please hit small stuff. Please just hit the small things. Ooh, that's one small thing. Excellent. That was kind of a sad collected company hit for our opponent. Maybe they brought in too many things that aren't company targets. Yep. So yeah, hopefully I just get to rip apart this Reflector Mage. General? Morphos. I think I should Morphos to maybe hope to hit General. We'll float Rip Apart colors, though. A Bloodstained. I think I just hold that. Kill this. Rip Apart's a great sideboard card. I wonder if I should have 2. Ooh, they are trying to do something here. Or not. Creature and something else. Just in case they have Eternal Witness, I do want to grab the Collected Company, so now we're looking at 1, 2, I mean, yeah, Akaya she can certainly win games on her own. She almost does in a couple of turns. It might be correct for me not to be greedy with her and just fire her off, ultimate her off. My opponent has a lot of the Horizon lands in their build, so they're certainly cycling on through. Like, my best draw right now, by the way, is Thrilling Discovery. Like, we're just sitting on a bunch of lands, so I feel like this card might be, like, the nuts for us if we just add more. Okay, I finally don't gain life on this Kaya. I guess I could have exiled a card from my own yard. No, I couldn't have. I probably should thin. I already have 2 cards in hand for the Thrilling Discovery. She also kills Aethervile. Kyle's a turn 2 clock now. Come on, music. Another Horizon land? My goodness. That felt good. I can't cut both Vanefires border posts because I do want to operate on that many lands. What do we say, 22? I think 22 mana sources feels pretty good for this. Just because of all the Metamorphose, I think. So 22 mana source would be this 20, the border post, and the rebirth. Let's keep that the same. Did I accidentally leave in the Cling to Dust? I think I did. That was an accident. What should that have been instead? A Croxa? Probably not. I don't know. Now that I've seen that they just have like a million Horizon lands, I almost want to run like the first Blood Moon. The fact that they almost cycled. I mean, granted they hit a bunch of air, but they could have cycled into the goods, right? Could have cycled into the goods. I don't have any outs really to the. I don't have any good answers to the Auric Champion. I think if they hit those, they just have them. So maybe 1 Blood Moon. Blood Moon will hit them. Yeah, I mean, it's not. My opponent's colors aren't what's greedy. It's just that they have like a ton of Horizon lands. I think I should bring in the Blood Moon. I wonder if I should just be playing 2 of them even. No, just one. Just one. Because I don't think it's going to cut them on their colors. I think it's just going to cut them on the... It looked like they're running like 6 of those Horizon lands, right? They did it, what, 3, 4 times? They used it like 4, maybe even 5 times. This hand's not as bad as it looks because it's got one of our relevant sideboard cards. It does need a draw to a black source, but most of our mana base, at least in this previous build, actually had too many black sources maybe in this iteration. Thanks for that button, by the way, folks. Philosopher99, thanks for that button, friend. Or I should say new friend. I don't think I've seen you in here before. I think you might be a new friend, maybe. Alright, that's a good start for them. Please give us a black source. I mean, I guess this hand kind of functions for a little bit without the black source, but it's going to be really obvious if we don't see it in the next few turns. Maybe I'm supposed to Helix this Noble Hierarch. Bugler. Maybe I'm supposed to Helix the Hierarch to slow them down and try to get the Clarion off. You came from the raid, stayed for the General. The General. Oh boy. Alright. I do think I'm going to do that. I just need to slow them down. Land, please. We're on the draw. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Like, 2 land hands are usually fine. I'm not going to be running the basic mountain in the future. Oh boy. Yeah, we're maybe just dead now. I guess that's not true. If I draw a black source, I can still terminate. Yeah, we're just maybe dead. It's okay. I was hoping to win this game so that I had enough play points to do another league with you guys. Yeah, we're in trouble. Gonna take 4 here. It is funny that Thalia kind of stops them, though, from casting Company, one of the best cards in the matchup. Ooh, and an Esper Sentinel. Oh man, so they're going to draw a lot of extra cards. So we do hit the black source. What am I supposed to do? I think I have to shock and terminate the Thalia during their end step. And I'm sure you're like, wait, what, Bruce Spy? You're a crazy person. I think I have to do it that way, because if they have a redundant Thalia, then I'm still taxed and I can't fire off the Clarion. I need a 2-for-1 with this Clarion to get back into this game. So, I mean, life is a resource, right? It looks like they're playing like a 3 of Thalia. I don't think... I think I have to take the 2. It doesn't feel great. Like, I don't want to do it this way. Yeah, I think third push will really be helpful for matchups like this. A third fatal push. Either Vile. Okay. So I'm not paying for the Esper Sentinel. Yes, you draw a card. You have 6 cards. Actually, maybe I don't need to Clarion, right? Well, now I'm kind of tempted to because I have the extra to pay for the Sentinel. Like, I think a reset is smart. I do think a reset here would be really smart. We want black, right? Instead of white. Do we need black for anything? We're not playing Croxa right now. Just trying to see how we might double spell. I mean, I'm more likely to need black than I would white, right? But I'm more likely to naturally draw the black. I'm just thinking because of like things like, you know, Inquisition and Fatal Push. I'm more likely to need black. I already actually, if I'm not using the K command, which I'm thinking I'm doing, right? I already need black because of the Inquisition. Whoa. Yeah, we're Clarioning, right? I think we just reset the board here. Okay, that. Yeah, let's just reset the table. Maybe we'll get to next turn, like, maybe it'll be Kaya Inquisition. Like, Kaya take out the Aether Vial Inquisition. Well, let's lead with Inquisition. I might also use the K command. We're actually looking pretty good. Like, yes, they have a full fist to 7, but maybe I just get to... If they don't have a second Noble Hierarch, maybe I just get to Blood Moon, kill their Aether Vial. Let's see. That would also cut me on white, though. I don't really want to do that until I've played out the Sorin and the Kaya, right? Okay, basic planes. A Bugle. Yep. I think they already played what they revealed earlier, we think. Yeah. Noble. So you get to put that in off their vial. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Yeah, I think we just Inquisition and see what they do. Looks like they're going to put in the Noble. I wonder why. Alright, so they have lots of stuff. Don't care about the path, like, at all. Double Reflector Mage, yeah, that'll hurt us later for the General, but I think I just ignore them. I think I'm more interested in the Thalia. I think. These are kind of slow and clumsy to come to the table. Well, the Collected Company in their hand I am a little wary of. I kind of like just taking the Thalia and then K command. Let's do that. Sentinel. Okay. Don't really want Kaya to sacrifice herself just to take out an Esper Sentinel. That seems bad. I don't think we mind this Plains draw, right? Like, that would let me play out the Sorin to make a token that they would path. They can't really double spell, can I? I guess... I mean, I could. I would have to let them draw cards, right? Like, I could play the Kaya and not pay the tax on the Sentinel, exile the Sentinel, still Helix the Bugler, Blood Moon, then kill something. Yeah, I feel much more comfortable with the Blood Moon now that we have the Plains. That's true. I could even just take 3. What about you just Helix and Moon? So I could Helix the Sentinel, not pay for it, and then Blood Moon, so they're only drawing... honestly, I think we could... I have 7 life points and a Helix. Couldn't we just 1 to 2 Supreme Verdict? What are you talking about, Centerforth? What are you talking about, my friend? What about this line? What about just Moon, say go? I'm at 7. I could take 3 damage. I think I'm just going to say Blood Moon go. Yeah, drawing the Plains there like kind of lets us do this. They're pathing their own Sentinel. Excellent. Well, scary because they're going to go get Forest and have access to company, but I don't understand why you're talking about Verdict. If we run Caverns, we could play the 3/3. We'd have to play a lot more Caverns, wouldn't we? Metamorphose, huh? I think this turn is play Kaya. I mean, I guess I could Metamorphose. So I've got red. Let's make Kaya colors, right? And then leave open the Plains. I still think you're in a good spot. Yeah, Kaya's Guile's interesting. Is Kaya's Guile better? Like, is Kaya's Guile Helix better than me playing Kaya, actually? I think it is, right? I think I'm actually going to Guile. Sacrifice, make a blocker, or am I gaining the life? I think because I have a Helix, I actually am just going to make a dude. Sacrifice, make a dude. This should be a very obvious Helix, though, from us. I may want to Helix first. The Bugler, because what they might hit is something less... sorry, they might hit a tax effect, and then I can't Helix. I'm actually doing it because of things like Thalia or the... the other guy. They're still going to put a creature in for this Edict. I can't imagine that they wouldn't. Unless they really whiff, which is also fine. Like this Kaya's Guile essentially just countered. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that I sequenced the Helix first due to Thalia. And I'm going to sacrifice this. Sweet. They do get to... Well, actually, they can't Reflector Mage, right? So they played this path. They played this company. Their hand is 2 unknowns, but we know 2 of their cards are Reflector Mages they can't cast. Okay, we do want to take out that Noble Hierarch with this Kaya. Ooh, I do want to get rid of that Aether Vial. She does that too, man. She does everything. She's like doing all the things. I got it. Let me tell you, folks. She doing all the things. See ya. Swing. She's actually a very good card. Definitely one of the reasons why I like us being in Mardu. She even triggers the General, guys. Look at us winning a game without the help of General. Maybe. To be decided, right? Exile this, play Sorin. Do I Sorin plus? No, U minus. U minus. Hope they don't have a basic island. I don't think they were running a basic island. I hope. Kaya going up. Thrilling? Yes. Dump these. Thoughtseize. What's even going on over there? Oh, that's what's going on. I was just curious. Who? Ha. We doing all the things. I might have actually wanted to make another token instead of gaining a lot of life. Blood Moon MVP. Did you see how many Horizon lands we turned off? We also just cut them off of blue. Card sweet. So awesome, I have enough money for us to play another league. Let's do these changes first. Maybe 106 play points, awesome. What time is it though? 5:30? So, Thrilling Discovery. Let's just play the playset. I think it's a really what this deck, I think it's what this deck wants. I feel like we keep going up on the number of. I do think the second planes is going to make the Croxas awkward, so maybe we don't want the second planes. Yeah, actually, I'm changing my mind again. I think we could play like another fetch instead, a white fetch perhaps. Like we could lean a little bit more on the white fetch side of things. But I don't think we should be playing that much basic planes actually, because just because of the anti-synergy it has for Croxa. And it's not like I'm playing the Urborg anymore. We could put the Urborg back in. Maybe the first Urborg is a good idea. Now let's play the Blackleaf Cliff. Blackleaf Cliffs. Just little adjustments, like something we've talked about many a time on the stream, like mana bases are a weakness of my deck building and brewing process. I'm just not very good at designing mana bases, so I think some of our losses last league could have been due to the mana base actually. Soren's looking good. Let's just keep running at least one copy. I think the Gigantha companion has been nice. Obviously, against my opponent's deck, we didn't seem to run out. Obviously, we would see that more so against the blue and black decks of the format where we're just running out of cards. It's just a slog. I think second Pithing Needle is going to be great for all these different Asmore, Urza Saga decks. Just more ways to fight Urza Saga than just the Blood Moons. I think will be good. Insufficient loan. I need about 5 tickets. Yeah, thanks for coming today, folks. This has been a lot of fun. I don't promise to finish another league today, but we can certainly start one. Let me see if there's 5 tickets lying around I could get rid of. Here's a few tickets. So now I'm ready to get back the card. I couldn't trade it away because we were in the midst of We were in the midst of our league. So I need like a couple more tickets to shave. I mean, like this deck, because of the Ragavens were really maxed out. I guess I could return it and then re-rent the whole thing. That takes a while. I don't really want to do that to you folks. I'd rather just figure out. Oh yeah, we're cutting the Vanishing Burst, right? Yeah. Let's return that order. Easy. Boom. And it does take a couple minutes for it to update how much credit I have. This list has been a lot of fun to play. I think third Fatal Push is going to be really smart of us, though. Big brain. I think that's big brain of us. I don't know. The Nahiri was in the sideboard because I know for sure that card's quite good when we know it's going to be a grind. So like she was in the sideboard, and then we had a whoops. We had no, wrong. There you go. So we had a main deck Cling to Dust, which I did like the Cling to Dust. It's always just cantrips. It's just a really solid card. I do like it alongside Thrilling. Then we have a few more cards that have some synergy there. Cards that, if we have like the second copy of Blood Moon, we just dump it. The Croxus have inherent synergy with the Discoveries. What about an Unholy Heat? I don't think I hit Delirium in this build anymore. I don't have any artifacts now. Like, yeah, I have a lot of types, but I have one Planeswalker. I have 6 creatures. I have 2... Like most of our deck is just sorceries and instants, right? It's all just sorceries and instants. So I have... I see what you're saying, and it's fun to like think about some of the new cards, or to think about Unholy Heat. But just revel with me for a second. Let's look at our numbers. So I have 6 creatures. I have, these are all instants and sorceries, and then I have 2 enchantments. And I don't, this deck doesn't strike me as a Delirium. Now, that being said, I think Thrilling Discovery could set up our Delirium. I do think that it could set it up. So you think like a Singleton and Unholy Heat instead of 3 pushes? It'll be 1 less dead card versus control. Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible for me to have Delirium. I just don't know if I would have it often. Yeah, maybe you're really onto something. Could also just play like the Delve one. Did you think about playing any Showdown? I do like Showdown of the Skulls, EKG. I think that's also a card that makes me think at the sideboard, like when we know it's a grind. Because there's quite a few people playing just super hyper aggressive right now. Super hyper. So many adjectives, right? Yeah, we've talked about Showdown. Like Showdown is kind of in my mind a similar spot as the Nahiri, the Showdown. Like when it's a grind, it's really awesome. Like it's awesome to be able to. I mean, like the Boris Charm really is just for trying to protect. And I don't know if it does a great job. I think the Malakir Rebirth has. Maybe this is cute. There's 1 cut, and then the. I mean, I've liked the Vandal Blasts, but maybe we should just play a Singleton because like the Pithy Needle is really the way. What was it? We had Vandal Blast against an Urza deck, and it didn't even matter. Maybe that's. I don't hate the first or second copy of Showdown. I think it's a really grindy card. I think it's sweet. If you guys are unfamiliar with the card that EKG is referring to, it's the exile the top 4 until the end of my next turn. I can play those cards, and then for 2 more turns... Sorry, on the first turn you play it, it exiles a bunch of cards, and then whenever we cast spells, we get to put 1/1 counters on our dudes. It's target creature, right? Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Yeah, I think Showdown's sweet. Discovery is what made me think about it. Yeah, I think a playset of Discovery might work with this card just fine. I mean, if I'm going to play a Delirium card, this is going to probably drive some of you nuts. If I'm going to play a Delirium card, I'm going to sit here and break down our card types, right? So 21 lands, instance. I'm going to pile everything. I just want to see what the numbers are. So these are sorceries. These are instants. Creature. Enchantment. Planeswalker. So sorcery. Instants. This is our breakdown. 17 instants. 13 sorcery. 6 creature, 2 enchantment, 1 planeswalker. Delirium. Sorry, what is the card above Croxa? Oh, those are Dreadbores. They're fancy schmancy Dreadbores. That's a great question. That is one of the issues with like playing like the fancy looking cards. I think we might be able to pull off the Unholy Heat. Instant land sorcery should be easy. We would just need one more type. We would need one of a 9 of. That's really not that wonderful. Like, I'd almost like to get some of these into the main deck if we really want to do stuff like this. And then it's like, well, but I kind of wanted these when we know it's a grind. So it's like, already it's starting to break down in my mind. Why don't you just go up on Croxa? It'll increase the likelihood of dumping a creature. Yeah. I think I'm okay, though, with not getting, like, pure value out of Thrilling Discovery. Simply because I think that the meta's not ripe for Lingering Souls. I could be totally wrong. I do think that Croxa has a lot of great synergy for General Ferris Rockerick because, yeah, maybe we should play the third Croxa. I don't know if I have enough tickets, though, for another Croxa. Let me see. I do not. But, yeah, maybe third Croxa. I don't want to be playing Lingering Souls is what I was trying to say because it's not multicolored. It's kind of weak in the format right now. But Croxa also wants to be exiling stuff. Yeah, so like I think the Delirium idea is cute. Like, here's another crazy. Call me crazy. We could also just play a Lightning Bolt. You're thinking a 1 of Verdict would be decent against blue. What Verdict are you referring to? But we also have Breeding Pool. We could play a Bolt. But I'm glad that we ran the numbers and tried to see if we could do the Delirium thing. Supreme Verdict. I'm still trying to understand why we want that here, Sinforth. I was playing Kaya's Sweeper for a little bit there. Like, against the decks that I need a Verdict, most of them don't have counter magic. Like, if you look at the meta, that's a great question. Why am I not really running any sweepers anymore? I mean, Blitz is maybe the exception, right? Because they have like a few spell pierces, but they don't probably bring those in against me. I don't think. Orzhov Stoneblade doesn't have counter magic. Azorius Control, I'm not bringing in a Verdict against because they win through their Planeswalkers. Tempest of Light is in this guy's sideboard. It's fascinating. Destroy all enchantments. What enchantments are we trying to destroy? Is Enchantress that popular that like Tempest of Light is a legitimate sideboard card right now? That's crazy. They don't have counter magic. They don't really have counter magic. Doesn't help us against Breach. No, this might be the deck. This might be the deck that we want. Verdict, because they have force negations. Affinity runs Rebuke. You know what's crazy? I feel like this isn't updated yet because Affinity is way more represented than we see it here, right? Like way more represented than this. So I feel like Goldfish hasn't really caught up to what the meta's doing. Will I ever go back to playing Wizards? Probably not. I just don't see. I don't see Wizards. Like, I don't think it got enough support. I do think it's cool, though. I will say this. End of turn Fact or Fiction. You lose. I'm assuming that's what your name means, my friend. So end of turn Fact or Fiction, you lose. I think that Riptide, was it Riptide Laboratory is sweet. We used to have like some sweepers. I cut them. We cut our sweepers originally because I wanted to make it so that we could play Gigantha. Let me just order these cards and we can move on with our stream. I really do like the discussion though, and thank you guys for that discussion showdown. Yeah, let's get grindy when we need to be grindy. Let's do it. Let's get grindy. Let's get grindy with it when we need to be grindy. We have enough monies. Awesome. Deck's tightening up. It's 22 mana sources. Don't let this fool you. It's actually 22. And I think the discoveries will also... The discoveries in the Metamorphose will help us draw to our third land. So, that'll be good. Let's give it a sec for those cards to come through. Yeah, I think Sorin's been really good in the main. I think Nahiri and Kaya's are very good out of the board. They're a little more specific, whereas like the Sorin I think is just generally good for the golems regenerating. You could also give like the Kroxa lifelink. So we've got like very big creatures that we're giving. I think the Blackleaf Glyphs will be really good. The Inspiring Vantage played very nicely, so I think the Blackleaf will play nicely in here too. We added a third Arid Mesa just now. So we're going to be fetching for that basic plains a little bit more often. Why is it displaying that? Why do you want me to update with versions? I don't think we need to. I think everything I'm running is fine. I don't know why it's got this symbol here. It says this deck contains... Oh! It's the Bolt's fault. Sorry, it's already got that yellow border. I couldn't tell that I didn't own the fancy Bolt. And I kind of want it to match... our helixes. It's a very minor thing, though. It's relatively a minor thing. It'd be nice if it matched, though. I like that we're playing a lot of real Magic cards. I mean, anybody that's been to my stream for any long amount of time, you know that I will try very unconventional decks and unconventional concepts from time to time. It's just my nature. We were working on a Waynota deck for... Here, I'll entertain you guys with a couple of other ideas we've had lately with... Well, I stopped playing Waynota when we... pretty much when Modern Horizons 2 came out, but this was the ending concept. It was a Pyre of Heroes build, and this was actually playing... we wanted to be playing Goose because we were playing Brea's Apprentice as our other engine besides just Spyro. Spyro is the lifeblood of this deck, but if you guys don't remember the engine, this was Waynota, the 4/4, 4-mana legendary human warrior. Whenever we have non-humans attack, I get to look at the top 6. Sorry, let me hold up 6 fingers. 6, and we get to take any humans from that 6 and put it on the battlefield with indestructible and attacking. So you're just kind of trying to assemble like Mirror Entity, Blade Historian. The Heron's Grace gives you a boost of life. I put in like Endurance. I'm playing Force of Vigors now out of the sideboard. Timely Reinforcement's also very good for this deck because A, it's just good in the meta, but B, it doesn't make humans. It makes non-human tokens. This deck was a lot of fun. We even put a gingerbread in the Brea's Apprentice build. A lot of games we were just trying to tutor for the Magus of the Moon, though, off of Eldritch Evolution. This deck was a blast and a half. It got even better when we started getting to play like Yavimaya, because we have some like pretty hard green-green requirements sometimes. Also, you get to play Ignoble Hierarch, which this deck really wants, to be able to go turn 1 Dork into Seasoned Pyromancer. And since we were playing Braves Apprentice, I just added like Pia, Kieran Nalar. I also added a Pia Nalar just to have some more humans that generate specifically artifacts. This list was sweet. I did really like this deck. We have some spice in there, like Masked Vandal was a Pyre of Heroes target. The Elvish Visionary, a Pyre of Heroes target. We even could Pyre of Heroes from a green fetch. You go fetch for Dryad Arbor. Arbor becomes the Loam Dryad. Loam Dryad becomes Masked Vandal. Vandal becomes anything here you want. And then, of course, as long as it's a human, you can go get the Wynota. So you really could Pyre up and down, or sorry, not down, but you could Pyre all the way up the chain, which was cool, all the way from 0, which is really neat. I did like that about the deck. Something else that we were working on was also a modern Shark Tank. That's probably the next deck I'm going to work on after this general list. I've been really liking this general list, so I kind of want to keep jamming it, though. Anybody here familiar with Legacy Shark Tank? I tried to rebuild it for Modern. We haven't played this once, so please, realize this is completely a prototype. This is 100% a prototype. We made some tweaks to it a couple streams ago. So this is what this list looks like, kind of. Has a lot of things it's doing on 2 mana. It's doing everything from suspending Resurgent Belief to cycling Shark Typhoons and Lake Claims. But the build-around card for this is Resurgent Belief. So it used to be that this deck was built around, it was like a Legacy deck, and you played Replenish. This deck started being played when Shark Typhoon was printed. Replenish. Ooh, reset all filters, maybe. Replenish. So Replenish is a Legacy archetype. It's not really played so much anymore, but this was the 4-mana sorcery, return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. I see Aspertold. Nice, please play this. Yeah, this deck will be fun. I haven't figured it out yet. We actually favor Remand over Counterspell maybe in a deck like this. But we've got lots of just weird stuff like Seal of Removal and Cast Out. We're just cycling all these enchantments. There's Soul Snare as well. But yeah, so all these just like, there's like Porphyry nodes in the sideboard, just like lots of interesting choices. Omen of the Sea was a great inclusion. Somebody suggested play some number of Omen of the Sea. I didn't even think to use this card. This card's great for this concept, I think. And of course, Lake Claims. So basically, you're reanimating all these different enchantments with the Resurgent Belief. I think this deck loses if we don't see Resurgent Belief, so I added a Singleton Talaria West to tutor for that. I think Hall of Heliads works nicely with Shark Typhoons. These fields are here. This is here. But yeah, something like this. This would maybe be what the deck looks like in initially the very first build. If you're wondering why I have some random snow coverage and some non-snow coverage, we were originally going to run Gifts Ungiven, because the Legacy archetype version I played was playing Intuition to set up Replenish, because it's really nice. You just go like 3 mana Intuition into next turn, slam Replenish, get some of these effects. Anyway, really cool concept. I don't know if it's going to function in Modern, but certainly is worth a try. Certainly is worth trying. You might just want to play Restore Balance as well. I don't know. The cool thing about Restore Balance is we actually like the fact that it makes us discard, right, Equinox? Like, I think I see what you're saying. I could see us doing, like, Restore Balance. Like, here, let me open a new copy. Maybe you're right, because Restore Balance would make us not have to, like, cycle. We could just, like, just dump. Do a dump. I do think it would make Force and Negation maybe not a thing for us, though, because, like, yes, our blue count's going to be going up, but maybe our white count would be, I don't know. That's an interesting idea. You can see that I'm already trying to wrestle with what you just said. Yeah. Maybe also, I mean, if we're doing that as well, I think the deck has to consider the play set of As Foretold at that point. If we have just that many suspend cards we're trying to enable. Just a thought. It's like a Restore Balance build would probably be the playset of As Foretold. You played 4 Foretold, 4 Visions. I don't know if I want to play Visions in this deck. I don't think I do. I think what I'd rather do is maybe just cut the Hall, or like the random Blast Zone, or like just cut like one of my colorless sources, and play like a second Talaria West and just play like 2 Restore Balance, and then maybe cut some of the more cutesy these things. Cut these. Maybe cut the Search for Skanta just entirely. Maybe also cut the unpredictable. We never like, yes, I do like that this guy is kind of like the 5th Shark Typhoon. So this says it's got cycling attached to it, so it doesn't matter that it's red. If a cycling ability of another non-land card would cause you to draw a card, instead exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a card that shares a card type with the cycle card. You may cast that card. So this lets us like cycle a cast out into a Shark Typhoon, or maybe. And what's important is it says cast, so it has synergy for Shark Typhoon inherently, because as I'm cycling, I just get to cast, and we just kind of go through all the different enchantments in the list, which is really neat. Maybe we cut a Cryptic. Maybe we only play 2 Cryptics. Maybe this just isn't really a counterspell, like counterspell deck. Maybe I should cut it. I do think that blue is tough for us on turn 2 if I'm going to play this many colorless lands. Maybe I just play a Fun Of. Maybe I don't play any. Maybe I just main deck one of the Teferis, you know? I'm not sure. Oh, you know what's interesting? This list gets a... I didn't even realize that this gets a companion. I just noticed that this deck gets to play a companion. If we want it. Which one is it? This one that Control was playing a little bit. What if they have a pretty version of that card? I didn't even realize that we were creatureless in the main board. We could play a Kahira. Granted, it doesn't play nice with my sideboard Vendilion Click. If we're going to do that, I might want either no Vendilion Clicks, or let's just play 2 Vendilion Clicks and then I give up the Kahira as a companion when we bring in the Vendilion Clicks. I like the second. I like the 3rd path, actually. I think the Stonies are good right now. Maybe like the random Dispute or Flusterstorm. But yeah, as you can see, I do play a variety of decks, or brew on a variety of concepts. And again, I don't know if our blue count is good enough for Force anymore. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 blue. If I had all of my blue in, maybe the forces would work. You could also play a 1 or 2 of Baby Jace. Yeah, that's fun, Equinox. I've tried to do stuff like that before. I think it's also, and please don't take this the wrong way, I think it's also a little bit vulnerable. I am aware of the synergy you're referring to, though, and I think that's sweet. How about this, Equinox? I'm not going to play this list this stream. I would be flattered if you would take this list and do something with it. Obviously, if you don't own the cards for it already, please don't go out and spend $1 million tickets or dollars. But if you have a lot of the cards for that, maybe you or somebody else in the chat could test it for me. Yeah, Modern Shark Tank. Maybe it'll do something. Kind of a combo finish take on like a blue-white-ish control. I'm still looking for a deck in which Baby Jace is good. Still haven't found it. Why don't you just play Aspergorios? What's wrong with Aspergorios? We're just waiting on our cards to come through. I hate to say it, I really don't have much time for more than one game. Oh, that's what's supposed to be up here, the Castle Vantress. I hate to do that to you folks. I was just looking up the clock. I've got band practice at 7, so why don't we go ahead and start a league? But we need to play fast. Thanks for coming, guys. That also means I'm probably not hosting us over to another stream, so please forgive me for that, or rating us over to another stream. So please forgive me for that. Time slipped away from me as we were kind of theory crafting on some of these other concepts. Let's go ahead and jam. Version 1.6. We'll see if we can't get there. Thanks for coming to the stream, though, folks. Last game of the night, of the day. Last stream. Yes, the old Mardu Gigantha General Ferris deck. You guys all know that deck, right? You guys have seen this before. This isn't anything new. What instrument do I play? So I am a drum set player. I also play cajon. Yeah, but that deck is still just so vulnerable. Oh, it is Equinox. Oh, it is. That was the one deck I had in mind. You didn't want to spend money on Vengeance, though. CAC. Yeah, that's the instrument I play. I wonder if I can make chat even a little bigger. So that's kind of the focus when we switch over to this mode. I guess I could grow my own picture a little bit. That's too much. Too much, Bruce By. Too much. There you go. Bandcamp? Plus or minus Bandcamp? What? No. It's a band. It's a group. There will be guitars and singers, and it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. It's one of the joys. I have many joys, though. Hey, good luck and have fun, opponent. We have quite a few joys. All right, so this hand is a bit awk to the word, although Cling to Dust does cantrip, and we are on the draw. This hand would need to see a red source so that I could Thrilling Discovery into more lands. I think I might actually keep it, though, because I can turn one Inquisition, and then if I don't draw land, I can Cling to Dust my own Inquisition. It's a very greedy keep. I'm going to do it, though. Ooh, and they're mulliganing? Whew. My opponent is double queued in a Modern Horizons draft. So we may lose this because I have to leave to go to my band practice because they're double queued. I'm just forewarning you that may be the result of us playing this game is I may have to leave early. that really sucks because I don't really have the full amount of time on both our clocks quite. It's close. It's 6:07, but it takes me 7 minutes to get there. So hopefully they'll play fast. I imagine if they're double queued, they're playing something that's pretty straightforward or quick. I wouldn't play anything else. Either vial. Oh. We get our pick of the litter here. Of all the players to get queued against, we got queued against a double queuer. Oh, okay. Still need to see a red source. Esper Sentinel's maybe the most annoying card in their hand. I do care about Reflector Mage because it does put General back into my hand, but this is coming down so far from now. I think I'm just going to grab the Sentinel. I probably will be clinging just to cycle. They do nothing. They do nothing. Alright, well, we drew a land though, so maybe I don't need to cling in such a way. Maybe I will just want to gain the life instead. Meyer, go. They decide not to put the champion of the parish in. They decided they don't want to do that. They don't want to. They don't want to. Let's go get our Triome. This isn't really a matchup for the Blood Moon. I guess it could turn into that. We do have a 2 of Moon. But I don't know. I'm thinking I just nuke their Aether Vial here with my Vindicate. Force them to draw a 3rd land. Pretty sure I just nuke this. Huh, Thalia, huh? So they could play their Reflector Mage if they wanted to. They decided not to. They decide to cycle a Canopy, actually. You guys just like helixing this Thalia, right? And then they play another one and I feel silly. They play a mismatched one. Just draw a card. If there's an Inquisition, we can clear the way for General when it's time. Kaya's Guile. That seems good. Kaya's Guile seems good. Maybe that'll coax them to play out the Reflector Mage to get my token. So sacrifice Thalia, we'll make a flyer, they play a land, and they play the Reflector Mage, or they can't. Sweet. The Inquisition's still alive. I hold this Black Cleave for the thrilling. Inquisition's still alive here. So they really need to get like this Mantis Rider on the table, actually, is what they need to be doing. I guess I should still take the Reflector Mage, though, because this is what stops a draw of... it's what stops my generals, so... Probably just cycle this Silent Clearing. Alright, let's discover. There he is. I will play a land out. I think these will help us see General Ferris just more often, which I'm excited about. Yeah, our human's opponent really never got off the ground. They also mulliganed, like, really far. Ooh, I'm not running the basic mountain anymore, so I will take a little damage on this Terminate, but it's totally worth it. We're at 19. It's totes worth, right? So Foundry. Do I want to start making my golems immediately, or do I want to wait? If they hit another Reflector Mage, it sucks for us. But I don't know. Do I want to just gain 2 life and make a 4/4, or do I want to actually draw the cards? I actually think I'm being greedy. I think I should be content just to start pumping out tokens. I'm actually going to change my usual MO. Like, I wouldn't normally do this, but I think against humans, the fact that they could, like, draw a Reflector Mage, and I just feel really dumb for not doing this line. I'm just going to gain life and make dudes. Just gain life, make dudes. Just gain life, make 4/4s. I think that's totally a fine mode on Thrilling Discovery. Like, it would take me a while to have enough cards. We just went. It would take me a while. They could have copied my Golem, right? Oh no, that's not true. They couldn't play the Phantasmal Image, right? Because they had they didn't have the right lands for it. All right, so Clarion comes in, Rip Apart comes in. Oh, sweet. Do we want Needles for their Aether Vials? Aether Vial is one of the best cards in their deck for this matchup because it speeds them up to an important. It speeds them up. It's very important to do that. Might still want Sorin, but Thoughtseize is a little rough for this matchup. But I think I need it though. Crocs is way too slow for this. The Dreadbores feel awkward, but I might still run them. Yeah, maybe we do want these 1-mana answers to Aether Vial. And I can just cycle them in the late game. Yeah, the Thrilling Discoveries are actually really sweet for our deck. It's multicolored for General Ferris. Lets us find the things that we need to find. We should definitely still have that Terminate. Kaya's Guile making them sacrificing me making a token isn't always going to be sweet. It was okay that game, but I actually think I don't do that. I think I'm better off with the Dreadbores, and maybe even the Rakdos Charm. I think it's just really important for me to be able to kill the Aether Vial consistently. Ah, no, that could be dead, though. It's too possible to be dead. Maybe we play like a Singleton Kaya. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's jam. The Malakir Rebirth stays. Oh, I'm supposed to cut the Cling to Dust, maybe. That's not true. Maybe Cling to Dust is fine. No, actually, if we get a third game, let's cut the Cling to Dust and play second. Well, there's the Vandal Blast for the Aether Vial. So hopefully I'm right that it is worth Just because this card's our build around doesn't mean that every single card in our deck. Oh yeah, just because this card's our build around. No, just because General Ferris Rockrick is our build around card doesn't mean that everything we play has to be multicolored, right? Oh no, Bruce Spy, that was another match you didn't use your companion. It's really okay. The companion's just certain matchups they're really not for. Hey, we get to use the Blackcleave Cliffs. Sweet. Kablam. And we drew a Bloodstain, so we'll get to Dreadbore on time. On the time. I mean, outside of, oh, I don't know, Thalia. I guess if they play Thalia, we just play the Triome. Why are you playing Vandal over Rips? The Overload is relevant right now. That's a great question, Al. It's not that I'm playing it over it. I actually was originally playing, what were we doing? We were doing 2 Shatter Storms, because that's standard for Jund, and then I was like, I think that's just too bad for our deck, because I'm often making some number of threats that's going to have protection from me. I'm scared of this card just because it's a pro 2/2 that will never go away. I guess I will play the Triome. Did I answer your question, Al? That's a good thought. No, Rip Apart's great. I'm playing Rip Apart because Rip Apart is Rip Apart. I'm playing Vandal Blast because I wanted something that destroys all artifacts but isn't Shatterstorm, because Shatterstorm was kind of bad. We could also play the Replicate red card too, but I think I don't have enough. Obviously, this game is the exception. I usually don't have enough red sources for the Replicate. For Shattering Spree to be good, but I might be wrong about that. Shattering Spree might be better than Blast. Also, Shattering Spree gets around Chalice. Oh, this is scary. What are we doing? Dreadboring this. We could play Kaya. She'll soak damage. I think that's wrong. I think I'm supposed to Dreadbore, fetch maybe a shock. They have 2 cards left. So let's bore the bigger champion. Our deck does have a lot of 2-drops, so like Chalice on 2 is something we do care about. But yeah, just to clarify, Al, I'm not playing Vandal Blast over the Rip Apart. I'm playing Vandal Blast because I kind of want something that destroys multiple artifacts. Could also easily just be like a oh, that's probably what I'm killing next. It could also just be a but you know what, our moons are still in, right? Yeah, we should start fetching basics. You didn't see the copy. Yeah, no worries, Al. I never held it against you. Ooh. So this lets us kill both the Thalia and the champion? I know it doesn't kill the Sanctifier, but we're not going to get rid of that card. We just have to kind of play around it as best I can. I can gain some life on Kaya. Yeah, I really don't have good ways to kill that card. We might want to bring back in Kaya's Guile so I can like remove this thing. Sentinel, huh? Sentinel Hierarch? Tempted to hit the Hierarch just because they've been stuck on 2 lands. I don't really want them to be able to cast the last card that's in their hand. 9 now. Another land. What does that do for us? If I'm okay with them drawing a card, I could take out the Hierarch and the Sentinel, but then Kaya dies to the Sanctifier. If I kill the Noble and plus Kaya, she doesn't die this turn, but she'll die next turn. Jack could also block. Yeah, Gigantha. That's true. Gigantha can't. No, it can't, actually. Sanctifier's pro red. This thing's red. That was a good thought. That's the other thing I can do here, by the way, is just play my Arid Mesa, put Gigantha in my hand. Yeah, I think the way that we're going to try to deal with the Sanctifier is just gaining life off the Kaya. I'm trying to navigate in such a way that we don't have to... It just sucks that I can't cycle these Metamorphoses. I think I'm supposed to kill the... I think I'm supposed to Dreadboard the Sentinel, actually, and then cycle through the Metamorphosis until I can hit something that kills the Noble Hierarch, which is going to be black or red, probably. I don't think I have another fetchable here, so this is going to hurt, right? Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. Can also Kaya to kill. Alright, so let's cycle these. Looking for the goods. Red, black. Well, let's start with red, black. It could be Helix that we're hitting. Okay, it is Helix that we're hitting, so I'm going to do this. So now we float Helix colors. I have 2 cards left. Is this Thalia all over again? Nope, it's a Lieutenant that's going to grow the Sanctifier. Oh boy. I mean, next turn I can gain life on Gigantha, and I can, sorry, gain life with Kaya, put Gigantha in my hand. I'm going to fall to 6 here. Why can't you just cycle Metamorphose? Because of the way that Esper Sentinel works. Oh, sorry, it's first non-creature spell, my bad. Ooh, I don't have to take damage on the Kaya because I drew Cavern of Souls. I'm still going to name Human or Soldier, right? Crocs is out. Gigantha is not very taxing on my colors. I'm probably still naming Human. Anyway, so let's... Kaya... Gain some life. Put the Gigantha in my hand. Hey, the Gigantha's coming up. Guys, we did it. This card became relevant again. It's always been relevant. We've liked it since we've added it. Just sometimes we win the game before it's relevant, but this is certainly a tight spot where I do need the extra card. Remember, we took game 1, so even if they do get us after all, they might just be killing Kaya here. I totally respect that attack, right? Just kill Kaya, because... So Kaya's going to gain us more like 6 life, actually. I might want to hold lands, although it's tempting to cycle the Silent Clearing. Yeah, and the only reason I'm thinking I might want to hold lands has to do with the, oops. It has to do with the fact that we went up on Thrilling Discoveries and such, but we'll just cycle this during their end step. So we have a good block here. Can't block this, though. But we have ways to gain life. There's Sorin to draw 2. Waterlogged. This is probably Reflector Mage. Does Reflector Mage just straight up beat me? Oh, wait. Actually, what they have is the Flyboy. So that beats us very quickly, Mantis Rider. Like, we've got the Lieutenant on lock, but this is 6 damage I'm taking. I'm going to go to 2. Kind of have to hit, like, answer. Down to 2. Okay, that's maybe part of it. Nah, we're just dead. That's too bad. There's no creatures in my bin to bring back. Ooh, they're playing Shardless. Good to know. That's too bad that we just drew 2 lands there. But no, that's not true. I drew 1 land. Yeah, it is too bad that Giganta can't block Sanctifier. I mean, it's the same thing that happens with Auric Champion sometimes. Maybe I should have left in the Kaya's Guiles. So we're just dead here. Alright, let's not waste time. Next card, I bet, is Gas, right? Terminate to kill the Rider. We still would have died to the Sanctifier. Alright, so... do we want to change the thing? I still think that Croxus is not supposed to be in. Like yeah, the Kaya's and the Kaya's Guiles. And, oh, you know, we didn't have Sorin to draw to. I think Sorin could come in here. Like, as much as I like fighting over Aether Vial, they don't always have it, and that's what Blast is only here to do that. Although, same with Needle, but Needle answers multiple... Yeah, we're supposed to cut the claim, right? Hang on, I'm making a couple of card decision changes here. Maybe, like, the Blood Moon early is just 2 Adorbs. Right, like, you can go... We can attack their colors, like, you can. But maybe that's just not worth it. I don't know, now that I've seen that they've got that card, I kind of want the Kaya's Guile. Guile also would have bought a turn. Yeah. You would have won if you just had turn 3 Moon, though. Well, yeah, us being on the play, like, Moon's more tempting again. That's very true. Rip Apart hits threats and also does what the Vandal Blast does to the Aether Vials. I mean, but then again, against humans, like, maybe I can't afford to draw multiples of these effects. It's like maybe I just want the singletons on both ends of the Moon and the Needles. Giganth. You didn't do it for us last game. Oh, hey, this has a Clarion. We probably keep this. Probably sneak this up. I think I actually just want to go get our Triome. Can you believe there was a time when I actually wasn't playing the Mardu Triome in this list? Me neither, but it's true. Pithy Needle's just here for Aether Vial only. Yes, it also hits Horizon lands, but it's pretty much for Aether Vial. Speaking of which, this is a Noble Hierarch, so never mind. Should I consider terminating that? Probably not. Probs not. Kind of want to try to Discovery to General. I think we should be doing that. Just trying to dig to our sideboard cards, trying to dig to our Big Chief. There's the Big Chief. I mean, I know they play Reflector Mages. I get it, but I think Rockerick is what we should be trying to do. If I get to 2 for 1 here, I'd probably do it. I don't know if I do it now. If this is Thalia, it's a pretty easy General Rockerick. Yeah. Kaya's Guile to draw. We need 4th land as it stands. It's like Reflector Mage to me. It's Reflector Mage to me. It's brutal. Oh, what I wouldn't do for 4th land. We get to kill 4 of their dudes. Yeah, they draw a card. I don't care. Oh, what I wouldn't do for a land. Oh, a land, please. Land. I guess if we don't draw the land, we Thrilling Discovery, right? Bolt the Sentinel. I don't know, that's like my whole turn because of the tax and the Sentinel payment. I can't actually Thrilling Discovery without having to pay. It might be correct for me to just pass it back to them and kill the Thalia. I think I have to. I might even do it during their end step just so they can't have a redundant Thalia. It's not like I'm discarding down here. I think we throw it back to them and consider just bolting their Thalia. Like, that looks weak, yes, but we get to Clarion their board afterwards, and it gives me another turn to maybe draw the 4th land so I don't have to let them draw a card on the Esper Sentinel. I think taking the 2 is worth it because they do play a place at Thalia. And step the Thalia is going to be better. I mean, now they're going to draw 2 cards, though. Can I let them draw 2 cards? Don't think I can. Just have to hope they don't have the 2nd Thalia. Or that we draw another land. These Esper Sentinels will certainly replace themselves. And 2nd Thalia. No, Thalia's Lieutenant. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an ouch. The Reflector Mage doesn't die. This would work just as ineffectively here as an Anger of the Gods would, just in fairness. I think we're losing this one, folks. But I did say I just wanted to finish it before band practice. Land is worth it, right? Just to make them draw 1 less card. This is going to be close, folks. Oh, you know what? They're 2 power, so I can't actually. That's my bad. That's awesome synergy. They draw those cards regardless. It stinks that they're going to be left with the Reflector Mage after all that. My goodness. That's awful for us. I could have fetched out instead of a basic. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise because we did leave our Blood Moons in, so like it is maybe better for me to get the Swampy, but maybe not, because my hand's pretty red and white. Like, now I can't double spell next turn. I can't, like, terminate Discovery. They're cycling. That's a good sign, I think. I think that's a good sign. Champion. Need to kill that Reflector Mage. I probably just have to terminate this since it's 3 power. But yeah, I'm really sad now that I might not get to double spell. What we really want to do is draw a 5th land actually, so we can play General plus something else. That's what I really need to have happen. Ooh, okay, so I could Inquisition and do something else. Maybe it's Kaya's Guile is what I'm supposed to do, actually. Alright, so let's Inquisition. Oh, wow. We could win this now. Maybe I just play General now that we know their hand's nothing. Because what would be the best draw? Like, a draw that might kill us would be a top deck Thalia's Lieutenant. They would grow, swing, I have to block the Reflector Mage. It's basically just exactly, their hand's nothing. Their hand's a whole bunch of land. If I don't do that, what am I doing instead? I'm Kaya's Guiling, which is a little safer. Reflector Mage is the only punish? Yes. Well, Thalia's Lieutenant also punishes because I'd be forced to block, wouldn't I? Because this would grow twice. This would be 3 power, and this, yeah, they have 7 power. I guess I would trade General Rockrick with Champion, though. Yeah, let's just, no fear. Let's do it. Don't have it. Don't have it. Just don't have it, opponent. Don't have it. Moose says they have no gas, so they'll value not trading. They drew something. Ooh, did they draw the second reflector? Oh gosh. Looks like they did, folks. We're so punished. Oh, never mind. That's still bad news for us. Ooh, that's really bad news for us. That was the other card I was afraid of Thalia's Lieutenant. So now I do have to trade my General Ferris, and maybe now we just lose. I think we should have just done the Kaya's Guile, guys. They top decked a literal Shardless. And maybe I'm dead now. It's worse than that, right? Because I have to actually just chump. This is horrible for us. I think we just lost. Even if I'd sat on the Guile, let's see. So if I'd sat on the Guile, they go to cast this. I cast this in response. I have a blocker, and they have to sacrifice one of these two. Yeah, we should have Kaya's Guiled. Because Kaya's Guiled. Because I still had other cards. I mean, it's fine. It's one of those, like, hindsight things. It's one of those where it's like, maybe there were more things we were dead to. I was concerned about, okay, hang on. Maybe now we're not dead. So human. So if I play General, can I also have the Terminate? Yes, because this would be red. So I think General plus Terminate could actually, we're at 3 life. But I'm going to have 2 blockers. This is going to be really close, chat. This is rough. Really needed them to not draw alive there, and they did. Actually, are we still just dead? I guess if they draw alive again, I'm still dead, right? Okay, so they didn't draw alive because they play anything they have because they have a Lieutenant in play. They swing everybody. Thrilling Discovery. Would Thrilling Discovery have been enough life? I'm pretty sure we have to terminate. So what am I terminating? The Champion instead of Reflector? No, we're terminating the Reflector. We get our Golem. This is really close. I'm going to go to 1. Because I can't let the Champion of the Parish through. We have to trade these 2, and then this is what's happening. I'm going to 1. If they had drawn a human, they should have just played it. Because they had Lieutenant and Champion with Parish in play. So yeah, they didn't draw it. So we do get to kill the Shardless and maybe start to dig ourselves out of this hole. Thrilling. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we just Kaya's Guile and hope for the best, right? I guess Kaya's Guile even ensures that a Mantis Rider off the top doesn't kill us. They bottomed up Mantis. I'd love to gain the life on this, but I think I just have to make the token, right? And we have a bunch of life gain here, right? It's too bad that I'm 1 land away from entwining this. It'd actually be really nice to get the full entwine. Oh gosh, do they have the Mantis Rider? Is this another Shardless? It's another shardless. So in response to this shardless, man, can't catch a break. So sacrifice, and actually maybe I should gain life instead of making the blocker, right? Because they showed us that they have the 2-drop with pro black red. Maybe I'm supposed to just gain the life. I'm actually just going to gain the life. Is the token realistically blocking more than 4 life? No. I realized it helpful. Yeah. They hit a Thalia. Thalia's pretty juicy here. So I'm not dead this next turn, though, and that's really important. I'm going to have the 3rd card in my hand, so I will have enough to ditch to Discovery. So we're hoping to Discovery into some action, right? Isn't that the plan? That's what I'm doing, but I don't have a lot of colors after this. I think black's not relevant, because I might be able to cast a general after this. Alright, deck, find me some goods. So it's nothing yet this turn. We're in a lot of trouble. These Shardless agents off the top have been great. Great for humans to have Shardless. It kind of like makes their deck more consistent, kind of in a backwards way. I wonder if they just cut their Aether Vials against me, by the by. Seems like it. Am I dead if this is Thalia's Lieutenant? Nearly. We may have just lost. Go to 1. It's frustrating to lose this, even though they had like a whole bunch of lands in their hand. It's a little frustrating to still lose. Well, we couldn't stick the general. We got a little greedy, right? Like this whole thing started going haywire when we had that one turn way earlier, right? Where I was talking with, I'm not pointing the finger at anyone when I say this. I think the Kaya's Guile does buy me one more turn, right? Need another Clarion? I don't play a second one. Yeah, Clarion would be good. A Clarion would be good. So if I Guile, make them sacrifice, they'll sacrifice the Lieutenant, and then I gain 4 life, I still die? I think I have to both Thrilling and Kaya's Guile, right? I think I can, actually, now that I'm looking at the math. Or no, I can't. Oh, you know what I could do? I could Metamorphose into Thrilling Kaya's, right? Red colorless, filter this colorless. Because we don't need to do the Kaya's during their turn. We can do it during ours. So I'm actually going to Metamorphose. Yeah. This is so close. Oh, the Thalia attacks is what kills us. Yeah. No, we can't. I'm sitting here thinking that if I can just double spell, we don't die. I would need, like, removal spell for the Thalia into something else, right? Make them sacrifice. I gain 4 life. Still die. If I Kaya's Guile first, then I Sacred Foundry Shock, play the Discovery. That doesn't work. I don't have enough cards. It's just health neutral. I guess we could hit a land, though, that's not... or we could hit, like, a Lightning Helix. Is that what I have to hope for? Like, exactly Lightning Helix? I'm most likely to draw, naturally, what, Black Source? We already have both our basics, though. Both our bases. They might value the Lieutenant over the Shardless, though. Red and white. Pithing Needle, that's actually dead. I think they were very astute to cut their Aether Vials. I think that one turn earlier, and again, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, that was something that I discussed with you folks in chat. Like, I was thinking, oh man, like maybe I need to do this, right? And I did, you know, kind of go with the flow. Actually, you know what I'm supposed to do? I think I'm supposed to gain 4 life and make a blocker. Does that actually let me live? I think it does. Almost, right? If they don't hit a human, I think that actually lets me live, right? Don't think I play this. I think I say go. Yeah, actually, there is a mode that lets us maybe live one more turn, and I say maybe because they just have to grow the lieutenant to beat us. Reflector Mage wins here. I mean, like any human in their deck wins this next turn. That's disappointing, but it's okay. Like, we were kind of spinning our wheels. Oh, wow, we get to live? We get to live? So I have to block one of these. Yeah, we live. We get to live. I go to 1. Oh, come on, deck. Give us the goods. Go to 1. The Aether Vial. Looks like they are still running their Aether Vials, but they just drew them late. But thankfully, that's not a human. Inquisition's a dead card. I should have played the Sacred Foundry, maybe. It's too late now. I have to hit, like, exactly Fatal Push here. Actually, I should have left open both swamps, I think, because General's not a thing. I think I should have left the possibility for us to hit, like, double Fatal Push. So there's General Ferris. We die here. A horrible, horrible death. Interesting game. Like, that whole sequence of us dying cascaded from the one turn that we tried to stick General Ferris when I should have just played. And that was, like, how many turns ago? It was this many turns ago. If you're wondering where that went bad for us, it was right here. Like, so many cards ago did this game start going bad for us because we got a little greedy and we played out the General when I actually didn't have a window to do it. Good games. All right, I got to get going, folks. That was fascinating Magic. It's just funny how, like, one decision, like, we were talking about it, right? Who was it? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was talking with you, Moosey Juicy. Again, I'm not pointing the finger at you. Ultimately, I made the judgment call. Ultimately, I'm the reason why I decided to... I agreed with you. I was like, wow, there's only a few cards that punish us, but we should have thought about Shardless Agent because Shardless Agent was more copies of Thalia's Lieutenant. It was Thalia's Lieutenant, the Hasty Guy, Reflector Mage. Those were the things that punished us the most, and they hit one of those cards, and I think if we just spent a turn Kaya's Guiling, I think that game could have been very, 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 very different because I would have had that extra cushion of life points that they got to take away from us that one turn that they took us off. The General Rockrick had to end up like blocking and not even trading. I think we had a chump block. Yeah, we had a chump block situation, and we almost came back from a chump block situation. Anyway, I really got to go. It's 6:50, but I will see you guys on the next Bruce By the Magic Show. Sorry for the loss. No, it's not. It's please don't take that personally. It was yeah, laters. I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, let's just slam it, like, because we're in a really commanding position after this. But I think in hindsight, like, playing the Guile was actually the right line there. And it was really interesting Magic to see our deck almost fight back from a pretty horrendous misplay. Like, it didn't seem like it was going to be a misplay. It seemed like it was smooth sailing. But they did hit a Lieutenant, which, I mean, I think both Lieutenant and the Hasty Guy, or what was it? I think it was more than just Reflector Mage. Like, we talked about Reflector Mage, but it was Reflector and the Hasty Dude. And I think we got greedy because at the time their hand was just 4 lands that we saw off the Inquisition, right? So I think in retrospect that was maybe an overconfidence, and I think we should have been respecting their top decks, and I think just removing a threat, gaining some life was the best plan of action. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on the next Bruce By. And I'll finish this league out. Just because we lost to humans doesn't mean the rest of the league is a wash. Still plenty of Magic to be had, so I'll see you maybe as early as tonight. I could come back and finish this, but I got to go to band practice, so I will see you. You guys have a nice one. See you on the next show.